block. There's 47. Okay. So why don't we put these up down
Are you interested in starting your own faceless YouTube automation channel, but all people do is tell you to go to Fiverr and Upwork and hire people to make rain sound videos?
GZ proudly presents Super Articulated. With tonight's special guest, the Butter Baron himself, toying around. Sit back, relax, and enjoy tonight's show.
Wow. Holy cow. Jeez. Man. Sorry. This is never okay. Hold on. Well, hello. How's it going? How's it going, everybody? You know, it's always an ever-evolving wheel here at Super Articulated. You know, stuff is always going awry. Never a smooth start, right? But it's okay. You know, that's just how things go here at Super Articulated. How many times can I say Super Articulated in 3 minutes? How's everybody doing? We got a ton of people in here. Thank you guys so much. Sorry for the late start. For those of you in the know, you know that security here at Poncheesy Labs was compromised. Oh my goodness, the other week. So I'm just getting a lot of stuff back in order. There's a lot of ponchos in here. It's the worst, right? A lot of stuff is compromised, you know. Once again, just trying to get things figured out, baby. It's all good. Tonight's special guest, though. Oh, my goodness. Let's not get it twisted. Tonight's special guest, what a treat for everybody involved. Tonight's special guest is the Butter Baron himself, baby. We're talking Kevin from Toying Around. Oh my goodness, what a special surprise. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring this handsome man in. Hold on. 3, 2, 1. Stalling here so I can get everything going, and let's go. Hello. Oh no. Hold on. Whoa. Hello.
Yeah, what's up, man?
How's it going?
Yo, so happy to be here. What's up, everybody?
It's a pleasure to have you here, Kevin.
I love the intro, the eternal kind of looping.
Yeah,
looping. It's the best. It's the best,
well,
dude. I love your stream. I can't believe I made it on an intro. This is you know, the pleasure is all mine.
Oh my goodness,
being here.
No, the pleasure's all mine, baby. We're comparing formalities. Let's go.
Yeah. You just took mine and just said it back to me.
Oh, that's true. You know, you're right. You're right. You know, whatever.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever.
It's late. It's okay.
Hell yeah.
How have you been, man?
It's been busy. I twisted my leg at baseball, so
a
I'm
whole
facing
thing.
my leg. Yeah, one whole leg.
Oh my god.
No, like my cleat got caught in the dirt, and my leg turned, and yeah, it was not good.
Oh my god.
But I'm happy.
Mess,
I was like, I don't care. Just get me out of this game. I want to go home, and I got to shower and get on the stream, man.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's the right attitude to have, honestly.
Yeah, that's what my teammates want to hear.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just ready to go. I want to be on the internet and talk with my friends.
Yeah, get your head in the game, Kev. No, sorry, it's somewhere else, baby. It's in another country on the East Coast, my friend.
Super articulated, guys.
That's it. Absolutely. Well, of course, happy to have you here. Jesus Christ, this guy's Among Us avatar is humongous.
How do you get the large one? Do you pay money?
No, this guy, it's Kyle. It's what do you call it? It's Static Thunder. He's huge. Please change.
Oh, you just shrunk it.
I shrunk it. I had to shrink everybody. It's too much.
I had Wolverine for a little bit, and then I switched to Raphael with all the
There you
turtle
go.
hype.
There you
But
go.
I saw a Bardock earlier. That looks like really cool. But
Yeah,
hey,
yeah. I really love the whole avatar thing. I think it's pretty cool.
it's sick. Like it's dude. Honestly, like when I watch your stuff, I'm always just in shock of,
Oh, no,
of
no.
how unique and creative stuff is on here. So just to be on with a giant Among Us,
Ooh, Among Us.
slightly small Among Us. That's what my son calls it. He calls it Among Us.
Among Us, baby.
Humongous Among. There you go.
Humongous.
Oh, it's gone.
Among Us. Chungus.
Complete honor right here. See, that's
Oh,
why the
thank you so
baseball game
much.
was just like meh.
Just a little appetizer, huh?
Pretty much.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm super happy to have you here, man. This is great. It's always great when we link up, whether it be digitally or in real life, baby. We finally met each other.
For the first time. I feel
know.
bad though because I don't remember much of Coin Off.
Oh, it's okay. I didn't expect you to.
Yeah, I had this potion that makes me forget things.
That's true. Yeah,
It was weird.
a lot of us had the same potion, just not as much.
Yeah, I
But-
ordered quite a bit.
That's true. But did you have a good time at Coin Up from what you can remember,
I
or from what
think
people
I
told
did.
tell you?
Yeah, I think I did. I brought it back to a Kevin from a different life.
I heard.
The Kevin at the bar.
I heard you and DK talking last night about a life past.
Oh, dude.
How did you describe this? 2007 Kevin?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It was a wild time. I was a late bloomer.
Oh, dude, me too. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So for a while it was just like I can't do this anymore. I collect toys. I can't go out anymore. I can't be dropping money on bottles and stuff when I have to buy toys every week. So that was it. And babies, obviously.
That's true.
Kids. Yeah, so that's done. That's done.
Yeah, my wife and I are trying to have a kid right now, and I'm just like,
Right now?
maybe right now. You don't see the bottom half of me. So
That ain't an Among Us.
that's true. You can't waste any opportunity, honestly. But like every single time, so I go to like Ollie's a lot.
Yep.
And I always see stuff at Ollie's, and I'm like, should I get this dumb stuff that I don't care about for my potential child, who also may not like this? So who knows?
They don't, for the first little while they don't know. It's just like shapes that you put in front of them, and then
Oh, okay.
you can wait. You can wait like, I don't know, a few years, and they'll just pick stuff. You won't even know. You won't get the same feedback whether they
It's true.
well, if they don't play with it. But usually it's just stuff covered in drool for a little while.
That's great. That's
Yeah,
not
like-
that's not it's not much different than my collection right now. So honestly,
Basically covered in drool.
yeah, absolutely.
But like, I think for kids their tastes change even quicker.
Oh yeah, I
Like
can
they go
imagine.
through these phases of stuff. So there's no point in stockpiling things, and then it gets to a point where they don't want it, and then you're like, but I really like this. I got this
Oh,
for you.
man.
Now you can't let go of it because
True.
you've created this sentimental attachment to it. Just wait, man. Just enjoy your toys now, dude,
That's
because
good.
you'll be buying less and doing less when it happens.
That's good. That's great advice. I have a
Snap my coffee. Why did you put that comment up?
the boys' toys, baby. Also, let us know if our audio sounds okay. If there's anybody that's louder than the other, just let us know. That'd be cool. I have a very vivid core memory of when I was a child. I went over to like a family friend's house, and it was like classic Filipino immigrant house, like not settled at all, just space where they live. So basically it's just like the living room is set up, there's stuff in the kitchen, it's they have a bed and like a dresser in one room, and then the rest of the house is empty, like
Oh, wow,
completely
really?
empty. But he did have one room that was literally full of like new in box toys, much much akin to our piles of shame. And it was like I don't know if it was actually a whole room or if it's just like my small mind that and my small body that made this mountain
True.
look even larger. But I remember uh seeing all that and just wondering like how could you have like so much stuff and like not even open it? That's insane. And then but it was also because he was saving it for like his kids back home also. But then which is why I brought this up. But a nice segue is because it's so crazy that my small mind could not comprehend that people have stuff that they don't open. Yet you have seemed to make an entire YouTube career out of that exact same premise.
That is literally what got this off the ground. I'm like, this is too much. I got too much stuff.
Yeah, tell us about that. So how did that come to be? Did like what was the process like of just buying so much that you didn't have a chance to open it? Like what happened to where you were like, okay, maybe I won't open this now, and the pile just kept on growing and growing. What was the journey like?
There's so much new stuff, and then sometimes you see these really good deals, and you buy stuff that like I can't pass on this.
Hmm.
If I pass on this, it's like I'm losing money if I don't get it. It's such a good deal. So those kind of things stack up. Duplicates. I'm in my mind. I'm like, yeah, I'm still doing toy photography. I want to do a shot with this toy, and I'm gonna use these props and this and that. I never get around to it, and then the idea just fades, and I go, all right, I didn't really need this. So it's just a lot of I just controlling and taming my tastes
Mm,
and also urges to just
okay.
stop buying so much stuff. So I started opening. I'm like, hey, maybe some people want to hang out on Instagram while I open all this stuff, and that was basically it. That was like the beginning of COVID, um, and it was just that was the premise. That was the premise. Unboxing Thursdays. It's all in the name. There's no hiding what's going on. Um, that's it. And it's just the sad part is it's gotten to a point where like, hey, I want to open new stuff that people want
Mm,
to see. So my old stuff, that pile doesn't really change to a
mm.
point where like it's maybe months to like a year afterwards. Just gonna sell it. So I'm on
Oh,
like a
okay.
bit of a selling kick
Yeah,
lately.
you've been selling like quite a lot, to be quite honest, over the last like year or so.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't it the crappy part is it doesn't seem to make a difference. Like the money comes in and then it's like, I get a table at a toy show and you pocket like 400 or 500 bucks and then it's just like, hey, can you get groceries on the way home? Oh, okay. Well, I have this cash here. I might as well pay with this. And a part of me is like, am I selling toys just to get grocery money? No, I'm not there. I'm not there yet. I'm fine. This is just a matter of convenience. But because there's new stuff coming out. I wanna I wanna at least kind of parlay the value of what I have and I don't care about anymore to turn it into new toys, right?
That's true. That's very true. Was it difficult for you to get to that? Are you like an easy seller? Like you don't care about letting stuff go, or do you hold on to sentimental value of stuff that you know you don't need in your collection?
I'm not like Mario where I open it on stream and then immediately go, yeah, I'm selling. Like he does that every month on enablers. Um, I'll play with the toy for a little bit and it'll sit here and maybe depreciate in value.
Hmm.
In the rare occasion, it'll appreciate. But if it's like a gift or something, someone got it for me, I wouldn't sell that stuff.
Mm, yeah.
Um, those are a gift and they have a special meaning. But if I bought it and it was just a complete impulse buy or something like that, I'm good with letting it go. I've gotten into that mindset. I broke the seal of like I got to be a completionist.
Mm.
I got to have everything in Star Wars Black Series. All the numbers got to be lined up on the side of
Oh,
the
yeah,
boxes.
yeah, yeah.
No, that was dumb, especially with all the sequel figures in there. Ooh.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's
so
rough.
once, yeah, I'm like, I don't. Why do I need a Guavian enforcer? Like, I don't. Some of these are terrible.
Some would say you do.
No, yeah, some. You can buy mine if you do.
Yeah.
And it's just it's just better to sell this stuff. Part of it is just like, hey, Dad, guess what? I just sold this mezcal for $300 and I bought it for whatever, and he'd still be like, yeah, whatever.
So do you talk to your dad about like your action figure endeavors? Are your parents involved in this kind of stuff? Or well, I wouldn't say involved, but are they in the know?
Yeah, they see they see the stuff that comes in sometimes because they come over and see my kids, and
Mhm.
they pick the kids up from school and drop them off. So they'll see like Amazon boxes at the front, and my kids will be like, "Dad got another package." Shut up. So they know he doesn't say anything. Like they know, like my parents know the the kids are good and fed and clothed, and
That's
the
true.
family's good. So what can you really say? But, the only time was like the first time I had Paul on my channel.
Mhm.
For people who don't know, Paul, who plays Carson Tava on The Mandalorian, I was so excited. I bought this mic.
Hell yeah, dude.
My dad was over and he's like, "You got like more stuff?" I'm like, Paul from Kim's Convenience. He's gonna like I'm gonna do a chat with him tonight on my stream. He just looks at me and he goes, and walked away.
What?
He walked away, like no reaction. I'm like,
No.
have you seen the show?
Hello,
Or...
is this thing on? Hello, Dad.
So yeah, he's aware of it, and he's seen some of the stuff. Like my
Mhm.
mom's like, "Hey, I saw that video of yours last night on YouTube." I'm like, "Really? Which one?" I'm worried which one she tuned into, like if it's enablers.
Yeah, it's not very parental friendly stream.
No, but she probably checks out after 2 minutes
Oh
of a
yeah.
6 hour stream. But yeah, they're cool with it now. I mean, they bought me a lot of stuff. I'm an only child, and I had a lot of toys when I was in Hong Kong, and when we
Mhm.
moved here, they brought most of it over. They did a pretty good
Oh,
job of bringing everything over. So I
not the
have,
nunchucks though.
yeah. Well, I packed that one. I packed that
Oh,
one
that's true.
myself.
That's true. That's true.
That went in the suitcase on my carry-on from Hong Kong.
Precious cargo.
They're right here.
Oh my god, that's right.
Keep that thing on me.
Absolutely. Burn.
When you're a kid, you have these on the plane. You feel invincible. You're like anything goes down.
I know. Yeah, dude.
These are plastic.
Hell yeah. Just tell the air marshal to step aside, basically.
Yeah, they didn't have those back then. I was thinking the other day I was on the plane. I don't know if people who are old enough will remember that the little arm things on airplanes used to be able to smoke on airplanes.
Mhm.
So they had this little ashtray
Ashtrays.
with this door that you kind of press open, and it's just like ash and garbage and saliva in there and gum. And to try to sit on a 14-hour flight from Hong Kong, and you have these little areas, I don't know, these contaminated areas right around you.
Yeah, that's
It
crazy.
it was weird. It was really bad. That's how bad. But I don't think I ever experienced people actually smoking on the plane. Just those, they still have those on the flight.
I don't remember if I've ever been on a plane where people smoked, but I definitely do remember the ashtrays and the remnants of it.
Yeah.
I too immigrated over to the United States when I was super young as well, or youngish, I guess. But tell me about that, man. So like, what was that like? So like, you lived in Hong Kong until you were how old, and then you immigrated here when?
I was 5. I was
Okay.
5 years old, and then we moved here. And every winter, I asked my dad, "Why didn't we move to Hawaii?" And my mom would be like, "He's scared of earthquakes." I'm like, "Fair, that's fair." But it's usually when I'm shoveling, I don't know, like 30 centimeters of snow or off. What's 30 centimeters?
I
You
have
do
no
3D.
idea.
You do 3D printing. You convert that
Oh,
stuff
that's
in.
true. You know what's
You should-
crazy? At work, I deal in only millimeter. Like I only deal in like that unit of measurement, and
Yeah.
it drives my coworkers crazy.
There you go. But that's what you got to do.
1 foot says
Um,
wing or lose. 30 centimeters is 1 foot.
Oh, win or lose. Yeah, win or lose is always on top of that. Thank you. But yeah, it was, my uncle lives in the US, and my dad was like, "Let's go to Canada." I had an aunt that was living here too.
Okay.
And we moved here, and all my toys. And when I look back into my collection, there's a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of it I realized that I didn't have any connection with those properties as my life went on. Like there's tons of I have Thundercats, I had
Mm.
GI Joes, I had like Visionaries. I didn't even know what Visionaries were until I got into collecting with everybody. I'm like, hey guys, what's this? It's got a little big paddle with a holographic sticker on it. And so again, definitely very spoiled in that category. Um, and but I was lucky that they packed most of my toys
Mm.
for a few years. No, I'd say like a good 10 years, 15 years. Uh, my mom didn't pack my Saint Seiya. I think they were a Bandai set it was Saint Seiya figures, two of them, like actual metal ones.
Hmm.
Pretty sure they never made it to Canada.
Oh no.
And then they're like, "Oh, I guess it must have got lost in the mail or something." But now that I became a parent, I realized that's a lie. That's something that I would lie about, that I
Mhm.
threw out, and then the kid goes, "Where is it?" I go, must have lost it.
Yeah, who knows?
So now I know what the tricks are.
That's true. Hey, I can't wait to learn myself or develop new tricks. I guess so. So,
It's yeah, I caught on way too late of what was happening.
so your parents just decided like, hey, the North America sounds cool, and they just came over here, I guess, or was there like a job
Actually,
opportunity or something, or what?
no, my dad went to university in the US also.
Oh,
And my
cool.
uncle lived, and we had family here. And I don't know, I guess it was just the Canadian dream, I guess the Canadian version of the American dream, just
You
come
know,
here
honestly,
and
a little better.
yeah. Well, I mean, at that time it was probably the same, like
Mm.
because things are so expensive here now that I don't know what kind of money we would have had back then to, or like now to
Mhm.
move over here, because if we come to Canada, you got to go like to the further remote regions, like because just real estate and just standard of living, cost of living is just so high
Yeah,
for a lot of stuff, man.
I can see that. When I was what do you call? We have a lot of similarities. I lived in Hong Kong as well when I was a child. I
Oh,
lived,
really?
yeah, between 1 and 2, I lived in Hong Kong, which is pretty crazy. I mean, it's not much at all. It's like it's a
Between
year.
1 and 2?
Yeah, between 1 and 2, I say
Yeah.
that as if it's like a long stretch of time. As that came out of my mouth, I knew it was wrong.
I was gonna ask you about it. Be like, oh, what do you remember? Oh, 1 and 2.
Yeah,
That's right,
nothing. You know what
You remember nothing.
the only thing I remember is looking at a photo of myself as a baby in front of our apartment complex. It's the only, like, and I don't
Oh,
remember
wow.
that. I remember looking at that photo. And,
Yeah.
like that's it. I remember nothing. And then when I was in middle school ish, I was still a kid, but I lived in Calgary for less than a year as well.
Right.
So that's pretty
Okay.
cool. So I know you've been watching American Born Chinese, baby.
Yeah, man.
I have not watched the show yet, but did you read the comic?
No, I've been meaning to order it from
Okay,
Amazon,
cool.
and
What?
I think the creator was at San Diego
Oh,
Comic
was he
Con.
really?
Yeah,
Dang, dude.
yeah,
There's so much stuff at SECC that I just didn't know was happening.
exactly. It's just that's I chalk that up to me being new and just like new country boy in the big city. There's like all these flashing lights everywhere. What's going on? Or Chinese boy in the big city. But it was just constant. But yeah,
Mm.
the book. Would you recommend like
Oh,
for kids too?
kids, yes. I
Yeah.
think there might be some adult. I don't know about adult themes.
Mm.
No, I don't think so. If I remember it correctly, I recently reread it. I think I reread it when they announced the show was happening.
Mhm.
So unfortunately, we're at two different ends, like two different poles here. So I don't know if the show is exactly like the book, and you don't know if the book is exactly like the show.
Damn.
We'll figure it out. But
I'm glad you brought it up.
I know it's about to be a real great conversation.
We're just like hinting at stuff, but not being specific at all. Like, how about this character? Oh yeah, it's there.
I would hope the themes are the same. I was gonna say, so I read that book when I was in college, and I had an elective class. Great way to spend money.
Yeah.
For like a comic book, like I don't even know what it was called. It was like really diving deep into the meaning behind comic books and stuff, and it's really cool. My professor went on to like write a book, and he
Oh,
he
wow.
was at SDCC too. He had a panel, and
They're
it's
just
really
giving
cool.
panels to everybody.
I guess so. Any guy can get on a panel these days.
That's no shade at your former teacher. That's
no
super
no
cool.
shade at you.
No, that was shading myself mostly.
That's okay. But
Did you say hi to him?
no,
Okay.
again I didn't even know he was there. I found out when he got back and we were all posting
Oh
pictures,
no.
and I was like, oh my god, Kunka, you were there? Jesus Christ. Anyway, but that's a really great book. It really speaks to like the immigrant story in terms of like trying to like find your identity and like like being in that weird like middle ground of where it's like not cool to embrace your heritage and like you really just want to fit in with like the people around you and stuff. Did you
Yeah.
experience anything like that when you were like a young boy, an adolescent, young Kevin?
Um, it was a bit like that because when I look back at my like middle school, high school friends, not many of them were Asian, but I don't
Mm,
think I was actively like, "Oh, I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to like hang out with the kids from here." I don't
mm.
think it was anything like that, but it just ended up that way. But I might not even know because I don't know. Ever since I met my wife, she's like, we talk more about these kind of social things, like things that happened in our past. And I'm like, oh shit, did I experience racism? Like, was that bad? Like, we'll talk about it, and then she'll let me know. She's like, you have the privilege of like, being a guy, as a female, as a Asian female, like,
Mhm.
she like getting catcalled and everywhere, things like that.
Mm.
And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have any context for any of that stuff, so I'm always listening, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, oh man, like we had such a different experience, her and I. But now, I definitely kind of wish I'd spent more time with more like Chinese people because there's a huge Chinese community here in my area in Toronto in
Mhm.
Canada overall. Maybe my like reading skills would exist in Chinese or like
Okay.
writing would be good. I can speak it. I can get by. Like if I go to Hong Kong, I'll be okay.
Mhm.
So that's a great question, and like I did kind of fit in and m- meet meet like a lot of great friends, but
Mm.
it was later on where it's like, oh shoot, like I could have been, there's this whole kind of other side of like of where I came from, and those people are here. There's a deep history of Chinese people in Canada, right?
Mhm.
So I've been kind of looking into that, and it's crazy to me. Like I've been here so long. Like none of my family has any roots of people who have been here from that generation that have been from like moving from like the railroad era to from the moving from the West Coast here to Toronto, and just building up Chinatown. Like uh, all this rich history, and I'm just like, we just came from Hong Kong later on,
Just hung out.
but I'm just yeah, and just subbing in afterwards.
Mm.
So just trying to learn more about the history and things like that, and embracing um, the community here. So there's this organization that I volunteer for called the Canadian Chinese Youth Athletic Association,
That's right. Yeah, I've
and
seen videos. Yeah.
yeah, so they coach basketball, they run programs for kids. It's really cool. They were associated with the NBA for the junior NBA program for a little bit,
Red
and
flags.
yeah, and then they got in with Jeremy Lin,
Mm.
who, sports fans will know the Linsanity era, but he was on the Raptors when the Raptors won the championship. So it became like the Jeremy Lin School of Basketball. Then they run a celebrity classic game. And the cool thing for me is that there are like restaurants and other companies and everything that like there's a huge Asian supermarket branch out here, TNT supermarkets
Great
that
name.
like yeah, it's yeah, TNT. It's I believe not Dynamite. Oh shoot, that's a very bad kind of association I like to have with Asians. I
I
just
know
realized.
Chinese people in
Oh
dynamite.
no! Oh
Oh, here
no!
comes an
I
apology
can't
tour.
believe. No, I'm not
For
the one.
them, for them, baby.
Yeah. No, I think it's oh, the revelation on stream. I gotta get that reaction. Um, no, but these businesses who are like, oh, I like what CCYA is doing,
Mhm.
putting programs for kids out there, and they'll donate food from like their restaurants. They'll put in time, and like it's all these community people coming together to build one big event for this kind of nonprofit that's helping out kids, that's like helping the future. And I'm like, man, I started off coaching, but then I've been doing like photography and video work and just
Oh, cool.
trying to get into contributing any way that I can. I just to see it all come together. Um, it's just a beautiful thing. So I'm trying to go into that more. And yes, Rush Hour 2 is super racist. All of it is super racist. I'll still watch it.
Oh man. Have you? So the reason I brought up like that whole question about American born Chinese is like
Mm.
I have a vivid memory of when I was in like elementary school, and when I first went to elementary school, like in the Philippines, like I ate with my hands and stuff in the Philippines. I mean, like we have forks and shit too, and all that stuff, of course. But like,
Yeah.
you know, you just like eat with your hands. It's just like it's just normal shit. And I remember when I came, my God, when I went to that school and I started eating with my hands, bro,
Oh
it
no.
is as if there was a giant like target on my back. It was crazy. I got like clowned on so hard.
Oh no.
It was
Yeah,
rough.
that's that show.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember I had like a moment when I was a kid, and I was like, what do you call it? I was like trying to like stand up for myself, and I was like, I'll eat my fucking hands if I want to, baby. And like I just started eating like macaroni and
You say
shit with
baby back then too?
maybe, I don't know.
Hell yeah.
And like I just started like eating macaroni in my hands and shit. I don't know, crazy embarrassing now, but
Cool, man. You stood up for yourself. You're owning it.
absolutely. I think that's a really great part of that show, American Born Chinese. That
Mhm.
whole like struggle between like being an immigrant and being a kid too, like not only having to deal with like growing into adolescence and figuring all that stuff out, but then like that struggle with like your heritage and trying to appeal to all like, you know, your white friends and stuff
Yeah.
and whatnot. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. I would highly recommend that everybody checks out that show. I know you've been recommending the show
Oh,
like all the
the show's
time.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I recommend the book all the time. Absolutely.
Because he goes to school in the show, he goes home and like his parents they're speaking in Mandarin, they're eating like traditional Chinese food. It's just great to see that on TV, man.
Yeah, absolutely. The like the boom of showing like immigrant friendly shows has been like
Hmm.
insane, dude.
Yo, Miss Marvel on Disney Plus?
Yeah,
Come
that
on.
was crazy. That was
Like
nuts.
that, that's not my representation, but I was happy to see it because that opens the door for more of that kind of content.
Hmm.
Right, to show immigrant families like that speaking their language on TV. Like for those people, for people seeing that on TV, like
Yeah.
they must have been just completely overwhelmed that that was something like on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's what's
You know,
crazy about it too.
yeah, I love that show for that reason. The parents on that show were great too.
That absolutely. They were super great. I'm half Indian, so like even though, you know, Indian and, you know, Pakistani is not the same thing, but like
Mhm.
it's close, whatever, you know. So
They
like
are close.
yeah, so it was really rad seeing that kind of stuff on like on Disney Plus, and there's like a lot of similarities between like my dad's side of the family and what was happening in the show. It was just very like just very familiar. And I think that's like super great and super important for especially
Yeah,
like
man.
young kids and stuff. I mean, granted, it is a little. I would imagine it's a little easier for kids now.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Uh,
Absolutely.
and that's not on some like I had it worse type shit, but like it's a celebration that it's great for kids
Yeah,
now.
it means society is more accepting now than
Yeah,
it's not like we had to walk to school, that old trope of
no,
like
no,
I
no.
have to walk in 30 centimeters of snow.
Yeah, 30
The
centimeters,
shovel,
60
like,
centimeters.
yeah. Every time it changes 100.
You know what's
No, it's
crazy
not like
about
that. Yeah.
you know what's crazy about the evolution of representation now is when I was a kid, the most common roast for me was kids would call me Chinese boy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not fucking Chinese, but like
Yeah.
they don't know that. But
They
like
don't they just assume that you are.
it's great that nowadays somebody could roast my son or daughter and just call them Filipino boy or Filipino girl. It's great. You know, And
It's
that's no
great.
slight at you. That's no slight at you.
No, just like the simplest way to think of it now, you know, like in American-born Chinese or anything, things like that, immigrant children with parents who pack them foods from your culture, from your background,
Yeah.
you bring it to school. Like, you know, sometimes you just don't want that stuff because it's weird. You know, it looks weird. The other kids aren't aren't thinking like that, so they'll see different foods and they'll be like, "Ah, that guy's eating weird, eating weird shit." Now there's like food programs at school. Like my
Yeah.
kids have a sushi program.
That's crazy. That's
Imagine bringing
nutso.
sushi back in the day. Like, you know, they're like, "What the hell? It's that green stuff. Ew, you're eating seaweed with rice and fish, whatever." Like the kids they're not eating that now. They're eating cucumber rolls. You know, that's gross. But it's like the gateway into more Asian food, right? That's a
Mhm.
thing. That's a common food. That's a choice,
Hell yeah, dude.
not just for Asian people. You know, it's a food program for everybody. That this food is accepted and is an option, is even an option, is
Yeah.
huge. So it's not the old like, you know, you guys got it easy, but they, you know, you kind of it's easier, but it's because there's a change happening and you know all the movements and all the people like the Stop Asian Hate stuff.
Mm.
It's just it does make a difference. You and I being on the internet talking to
Oh, for
people, it
sure.
makes a difference, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And any part we can play, baby. That's it.
Yeah. You know, what the hell am I really doing? But
Yeah, that's true. What are we actually
it's
doing?
so I got this Pokemon set today,
Yeah,
and it
that's
has Mankey, and it has his dot. Like,
Yeah.
what am I contributing
Yeah,
to
that's true.
history? To history.
Did your parents ever pack you like weird shit, like it for school, and did you like bring it and people are like, "What the fuck is that?" or anything like that?
I I think they tried their best. I got a lot of like cold cuts and sandwiches and things
Oh,
like
that's
that.
great.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but at home at nighttime, it was always Chinese food.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Dude.
and which is good. I need to learn how to cook Chinese food better.
Hmm.
But you know, we're going to Asia later this year. I'm trying to
Well, let's go.
get my kids to eat more here because every meal we're like we're not having McDonald's over there. Maybe once because we want to see the toys, and
Yeah, of course.
you know McDonald's Hong Kong has chicken wings, right? I want to see what kind of foods they have in Japan and Hong Kong, things
Mhm.
like that. But you know, we're trying to go out and have like noodles and rice and and my daughter will get exhausted. She's like, can we have non-Asian food tonight? It's like, cool, let's just get that craft dinner. Let's just get the mac and cheese tonight. But the gateway was like bacon, and then bacon turned to spam. Like my daughter's the pickiest eater, and like spam in all Asian cultures is like it's so common.
It's a staple, a
Yeah,
pillar.
I love that it's like the Americans brought it to Asia,
Hmm.
and you know everyone over there embraces it, and then it's seen as like you know it's like poo pooed over
Yeah, that's
back here.
you know what's crazy? For those of you who don't know, my beautiful wife is white as they come. But it's been let me tell you, the true gift, aside from marriage and love and all that stuff, is like introducing her into like my culture and watching like her like tastes and all of that like develop into like or just become more accepting into my culture because like specifically spam like
Hmm.
that is a tried and true example, dude. Rebecca, when I first told her that like spam is like my life, she was like, "Oh, spam? I don't know, dude. I spam is like gross. That's like canned meat. It's
Yeah,
nasty.
if you're
Like
eating it straight out of the can, it's just slop.
but like, yo, I mean, I fried up some spam, put on some rice with an egg, baby.
Hmm.
Dude, like she
Yeah,
immediately converted.
spam and
Immediately.
egg, spam egg on instant noodles is like a breakfast staple in Hong Kong. Spam egg on like macaroni noodles, you can get that
Ooh,
in Hong Kong diners all the time, all day, anywhere you go. So
okay.
yeah, you're not just taking it a block of this processed Play-Doh and just eating it like a block of cheese. You know, you gotta
True.
slice it up, you gotta get a good sear on it, get a nice crisp. You can
Absolutely.
you can dice it into cubes and make a fried rice. Oh, you can dude, I this again with the CCYA, they're in with this chef, and he got a sponsorship for Spam. And I saw the craziest thing. He took a fruit peeler
Mm-hmm.
and the block of Spam, and he shaves the top of it, razor thin slices,
Incredible.
and then it was that, and then I fried those up in a pan, and that's when my daughter ate it because it was like crispy.
Oh, wow.
It was because it's so thin, right? It just crisps up so
Mm-hmm.
fast. So try that out. Shave the top off with like a whole bunch of slices with a fruit peeler,
Hell yeah,
and then
dude.
toss those in the pan, nice and hot.
Get my Cosmo
Dude.
Kramer on. Slice them so thin I didn't even know they were there.
Yeah, I guess I just assumed.
I just assumed.
I got this thing that has like multiple metal wires on it. You put your block of Spam on, and then you just pull it down.
Oh,
and
let's
it
go.
slices everything. I think
Dude,
it's like that. What is it called? The Hawaiian thing, musubi.
Yeah. Musubi, yeah, people in China
Yeah.
talk
So
about it for sure.
So it's for people to make those. You just pull it down, and it's like a seven-pronged guillotine,
Dude,
kind
hell
of
yeah,
slicing
dude.
everything in one go.
Dude,
Yeah, man.
I'm sitting here using a knife like a sucker. What's happening?
Kevin's like, Nacho's like, what? Using a fruit peeler? Yeah, man. Fry it up, some, I don't know, Japanese mayo. Good to go.
Yeah, that'd be really great. It's always good, dude. Spam is always like a really great thing. It's so funny because like I vividly remember the day I was at the supermarket with Becca and we picked up Spam and she was like, "Why?" And I was like, "It's delicious. Don't worry about it." And then like one day for dinner we didn't know what we were gonna do. And I was like, "Dude, we got rice, we got eggs. Let's cook us some Spam." And she was like, "Why?" And then I was like, "Nah, dude, you just gotta try it. Just believe in it, baby. Just believe." And then she did. That's all she wrote, dude. It was great.
Damn, can we get that Spam sponsorship too?
I'm saying, right? It's so funny because Static Thunder brought up in the chat just a second ago that Spam has a connotation here because it's like a poor man's food. But Spam is expensive as shit. It's $5 for a can here. What is happening? It's like I remember Spam being like $1 when I was a kid, but now it's like $5. What is happening?
Because they're like, oh, there sure are a lot of Asians around here.
Yeah,
Let's bring this.
that's
They're
true.
selling these units are moving. Let's bring the price up.
There's a lot of Asians here in Charleston, specifically a place called Goose Creek. High School Creations knows what I'm talking about. That's where all the nurses come from the Philippines. Best program.
All the RNs.
That's it.
Insane. That's cool. That's cool though. I didn't know that. Because it's just there's all the states seem so different, from each one. I have no idea what's going on. So just meeting you guys, all like hearing and learning about all this stuff, that's great to hear. But $5 Spam, that's like $6 for a stick of butter up here. Canadian.
Whoa, really?
Yeah,
$6
man.
for a stick of butter? Do they have cows in like Canada?
That's
Canada?
like
Canada?
for Canada.
What am I talking
Canadian?
about?
It's like $4 US.
Sheesh, yeah, no,
Yeah.
butter here's $1, baby.
You guys don't know how good you have it.
That's true. Well, so speaking of butter, let's get the elephant out of the room. How'd that whole thing start? I introduced you in the intro, the butter
Yeah, you
baron
did.
himself.
You did. Again, it was that thing. I was at Walmart. I was looking for some Star Wars Black Series exclusives. We were also there for butter because it was on sale for like $3 or something. I couldn't find right. I'm like, okay, Walmart, let's get it all in one go. No Black Series exclusive, so I was bummed. I'm like, oh, somebody probably scooped it all up.
Mm-hmm.
Some scalper bought everything.
The worst.
And then I go get butter, and they're like, butter's on sale, $3, limit 4 per customer.
Oh, during the pandemic.
Probably.
Okay.
And I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, there's a limit on butter, but not on exclusives, because I just assumed somebody grabbed all of them. Like, yeah, for sure that store had it, and someone bought all of it. In my mind, that's what happened because I didn't find it. So I was really angry. My wife buys and freezes butter for when she bakes, when it's a good price.
Holy cow.
When it's a good price, she'll stock up on it.
It really be like that with butter up there. That's crazy.
Yeah. So that day I got some other toys. I posted a haul, and as a joke, I'm like, let's put the butter in too. Because she bought so much. I think there's like 6 sticks in that photo. And I posted it, and then it's probably like Cheney, or I think it was Cheney. He looked at all. He's like, what is he doing with all that butter? Is he some sort of butter baron?
Oh, let's go.
So that was it. That was it. And then just Toymigos were on all the time at that point, like 4 days a week. My son was
what a schedule.
right, dude. That got me through that part of COVID, and my son was really young at that time, and he was sleeping like terrible sleeping patterns. So I'd be on there watching every Toymigos, every episode, to the point where I would look at my phone, and I'm like, I've run out of internet.
Oh my god!
Like, I'm watching basketball players stream Call of Duty when they were playing in the bubble. I'm like, I guess that's a thing. I'm just watching it because he's an NBA player. Anyway, so I was watching it a lot, and then my show was on, and people in that community, I forget who exactly it was, started this whole like Butter Nation, like a Game of Thrones style intro, like first of his name, like
Hell
Lord
yeah,
of
dude.
the Land. It was really funny, and the funny part is something like that. The more I resisted it, the more it stuck.
Yeah,
Until
I can see
eventually,
that.
I'm like, all right, that's it. This is
guess
the Butter
I'm-
Nation.
I'm a
This is
butter
what
guy
you
now.
guys are. This is what my chat is.
Yeah.
So that's how that happened. The funny part is when people come on and they have no idea about the Butter Nation. Shout outs to the Butter Nation, everyone in the chat
Shouts out.
who's here,
Butter Nation.
and of course Lucky Butter. When somebody comes on and they don't know what's going on, everyone's like, Butter Nation, this, what happened? And I have to explain it. I have to explain to, like, there's like, I've had the privilege of having some like actors on, and for the first time I have like, I feel so stupid sitting there and explaining like, yeah, this is the Butter Nation.
But
Butter's
why?
expensive up here. That's it. It just seems silly. It seems silly in the presence of like, people are on like TV shows and stuff and movies, and it's like, why am I here talking about this?
I definitely feel that. That's how I felt when I was first on your show, and then we dusted off So No Head, and then
Yes.
you were like, "What is that?" And I'm like, it's a stupid thing we do on our stupid show about a stupid meme about No Head." So you know what it is.
Yeah, but like that's what people come back for.
True, very true,
Right?
very true.
The inside jokes, the memes that we have, with the enablers, everything like that. It's just a series of jokes that we shared that moment, and it cracked people up, and it's amazing to see people come back and like they remember the jokes that I sometimes forget, and they're typing and like they have all the callbacks in the chat. That's the best part, man.
That really is the best part. I remember I've been making videos with my friends forever, dude. I think the last episode, when Mario was on, I talked about like making like a weird fan live action DBZ movie with my friend when we were like in the 7th grade or something. It's insane.
Sick.
But me and my friends would all make videos, and I remember at my wedding party, when all my best friends were in my groomsmen, and then we were eating somewhere, and then there was something on the menu. I can't remember what it was. My friend Cooper just goes to me. He's like, "You see the shit on the menu? That shit is real foreign." And then like everybody was like laughing, and like I was laughing too, because in my brain I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, okay, yeah." And I was like, "Damn, dude, holy cow, I haven't heard that in forever. What is that from?" And everybody goes, "It's from you. You said that." In a video we made.
Oh
like,
man.
"Oh."
Yeah, that's the best.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
I mean, like now I'm like reading the chat and trying to talk to people, like whoever's the guest and everything. So I forget a lot of stuff. And then, somebody like Loki or somebody in the chat will just have this great callback, and just immediately it, to me, it's like, wow, people are paying attention. Win or lose, will I remember all the stuff. I'm like, people are paying attention. This is a lot of fun.
That's
So
true.
it's stupid, but if you're here for a while, like that's why we're here for a while. It's for that connection.
Yeah, it's for the community.
It's so
for
great.
sure.
Yeah, that's why it's like, yo, you recognize it's called the Butter Nation because people keep calling me the Butter Baron. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's kind of silly, but I keep fighting it. People recognize it. Like, just embrace it.
Yeah, just
Embrace the
gotta
butter,
embrace it.
baby.
Absolutely.
I can't look in the chat because we're just gonna be like, you guys, ACBA does a lot of like themed October. You know, you have a lot
Mhm.
of themes for that. So we did a meme uh,
Yeah,
photo
meme
challenge.
competition. Yeah.
Yeah, for the enablers, and there was a giveaway, and then if you did an enabler meme toy photo, you'd get double entries. And man, some of the stuff that people remembered, and it's great because you're seeing your friends get roasted, you're seeing yourself get
Yeah.
roasted, and it's like someone took the time to recreate that with toys. It's like, wow, why?
Yeah.
Why? There's only so like you have a limited number of minutes in your life, and you've made that for us. Like this is freaking awesome. It's so cool.
Yeah, the community that we're a part of, and also extensively that you've created around you and like all of your stuff, is like fantastic, dude. It's such like a it's such like a wholesome and
Yeah,
just like posy vibe community. It's like it's really great.
yeah. It's still weird to me when people say like, "Oh, this community you built." I'm like, I'm just hanging out.
You built
Like
it, brother.
everyone's nice. That's like you built it. Everyone's nice to each other. That's what it's got to be.
That's
Because
true.
I can't. I'm not telling you to be nice.
Mm.
Well, I guess I kind of am, but
Sometimes you got it, honestly.
am I just indirectly doing it by being nice myself? That I don't know.
I,
It's just great to see.
for me, I've noticed that like a lot of people emulate with a kind of like vibe that you put out, especially if you're like in a position where you're like it even sounds like so whack saying this out loud, but you're like a
Say it
figure in the community or whatever. You're like a part, you're like a, I don't
because
know.
of the pun.
Nah, I mean, I guess so, sure, whatever. But like, if you're like a person in that community that like that spearheads a lot of stuff, like a lot of the times it's easier for people to emulate. It's easier to have a positive community if you yourself are positive, I would
Hmm.
imagine.
Or maybe that's just the crowd that you attract too, right?
True, absolutely.
Yeah, if you're out here like just being hateful and everything, like you're gonna get the people who like I hate the same stuff as you.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
I vibe with that, so that you get that crowd too. And that's a real thing, right? That's a real thing.
Yeah, very very real. So that's why sometimes like on the shows, like we'll clown on stuff for sure, but like I'm always very cautious about every time that like I give some colorful constructive criticism, that like I'll always like bookend with like but at the end of the day, like I get it, right? Like I
Mhm.
understand why this product from this company is so expensive, because stuff costs money and blah blah blah. Like we say on the show that like we're cursed with knowledge, baby.
The
Like
gift and the curse.
absolute, like it's easy to clown on a Marvel Legend being $35, but then you really unpack it and you realize that they have a certain budget in each wave, and then they have to stretch that budget throughout like a quarter or a year or whatever the time
Mhm.
constraint is. And some corners have to be cut, but that leaves stuff open for maybe an upgrade in the future. And then that may sound scummy a little bit, but then it's just it's all business at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah.
of course it just makes sense.
Yeah. And yeah, I totally get that. And that information is out there,
It's true,
right?
it
The
is.
Legends team puts it out there, or certain companies put that information out there. Certain companies or certain companies will communicate that to collectors, through us, through ACBA podcast, through
Hmm.
the interviews that they do. Some people just don't want to hear it.
Mm,
Sometimes a consumer will just be like, I don't care what your reasons are. I want this product in my hand made this way that I want.
mm,
And if it doesn't happen, you suck.
that's true.
I know everything. Or it's like, if this TV show or movie comes out and I want this, and this to happen, and it doesn't, oh, it's garbage.
Mm.
You know? It's
It's
like, well, maybe it's there's stuff behind the scenes, and it's cool if you don't want to get into it. You don't want to be aware, like you don't want to get into the economics or the logistics of making stuff in the background. That's cool. I personally find it interesting.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, that's why I kind of I like that kind of stuff when we get to talk to when we have access to these book says all the time we have access to
That's it.
people.
Forever the businessman.
Yeah, exactly. I learned a lot from him without really knowing that I learned a lot from him.
Mm.
Uh, but it's just some people just want the product the way it is, and that's it. Don't give me the hard sell or the
That's
sell,
true.
like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like the details, right?
It's easier to hate on something for a lot of people. And it's
Yeah.
fun. It's funner too, I'm not gonna sit here on like a pedestal and try and preach something fake like never be mean or whatever like that. Like
Yeah.
it's fun to be a hater sometimes, right? But then like you gotta like know when to dial it back, you gotta know when to be serious or whatever.
Bro, have you watched Ted Lasso?
No.
All right. So the premise is it's an American football coach
Okay.
goes to the UK to coach a soccer football team.
Hmm.
And the team sucks, and everyone's been raving the show's great, it's like the best show on TV, it's so good. I'm like, okay, I'm finally gonna watch it. I gotta because I got a trial for Apple TV on the new iPhone, so I'm like, I'm gonna watch it. And I get it, because good things happen. Like, the team sucks, the coach comes up with some way to like be nice, or someone goes out of the way to like be nice to somebody, and you get this kind of nice feeling.
Hmm.
You get all those you know uh you know just hormones and things released in your system. You're like, oh, this is great. And I'm like, that's why this show makes you feel, you think it's a good show, because you feel good all the time. It's like a high. Like,
Mm.
like bad things don't happen. But the coach is like super positive. Jason Sudeikis' character,
Hmm.
like he's always really happy, and like tries to find the positive spin on something.
Mm.
My baseball team got crushed today,
Oh no.
and a younger me would have thrown my glove, smashed my bat, just been yelling and cursing. And in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm glad I watched the show, because it, in a sense, I kind of toned down my temper.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I'm like, I can't find it in myself to be that character. Like, this is just TV. It's impossible. The way
Yeah,
the
that's
team played today, like, I want to be mean. But watching the show helped just a little bit.
just
But yo,
enough.
if I didn't, like, I would not be the, hey, Kevin's a positive figure in the toy community, but damn, he's a real asshole on Diamond.
Yeah, on the baseball field, this guy
Oh
kind of
my
sucks.
god, I'm the worst person ever. Yeah, so I get it. Sometimes do you like, you see some of the crummy stuff that happens in the toy community,
Hmm.
and it's like, A, it's just over toys, and B, you can't imagine how like some people out there can be that crummy
True.
to the to
Very
the
true.
point where like it affects you the rest of your day. Like, I just feel like I'm a little more on edge sometimes.
Mm.
Does it ever get that way for you?
Sometimes it's like that. I would say when it does get to that point, um, going to what you said earlier, it stops being about toys. Like
Yeah.
when it gets to that point, like of course, like two people arguing over like Hasbro or Marvel Legends, whatever. That's about toys, but then it there's a certain point where that there's a paradigm shift, and it's no longer about toys. It's
Hmm.
about the interaction between you and that person,
Hmm.
and like the level of like respect and or disrespect in the interaction that's happening now, and that's when it starts like having an emotional effect on me. I would say
Yeah.
there's a lot of crazy and wild beef out here, man. It's wild.
I don't know, like, this toy fame means a lot to some people, maybe. I don't
Mhm.
know. Like, for me, like, are you the type of person who just kind of blocks it out? It's like, yo, cool, block. That's it. I don't need to deal with this. I'm good with that kind of stuff, just to keep that kind of energy, because I don't need it affecting my day. I got to deal with kids. I don't need to be like on edge
Mm.
about something stupid, and then like, the kids misbehaving. I don't want to be in a position where I let it affect me at home. So I'm
True.
cool with like block,
Yeah, you got a lot more on
just
the line.
unfollow things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a dude. You're a whole father and stuff, so
I'm just trying to cook them spam at home.
that's true. I'm just trying to convert my wife, basically. Uh,
Convert. She's a spam believer.
that's it. But yeah, so yeah, I guess I generally just try and like I just keep that stuff separate. I think I do that to a point where this is crazy. Um, like at the con, people were coming up to me and like saying, "Oh, are you Poncheesy?" Every single time. I was like, "What? Yes? Why? Why? How do you know?" And then like my name tag says my government name. How do you know? And they're like, "Oh, I've watched you for forever." So like and like that, it never like even clicks with me. Like so like I like completely, it is all the way over there. Like it is usually never in my mind at all. Like even to the point with the podcast, like I didn't like so off the cuff, I'm extremely thankful for like everybody who watches the podcast and
Mhm.
enjoys all the stuff we do on there and everything like that. But like, and don't take this the wrong way, anybody, but like, I mean, for
Here
the
we go.
longest time I was like, who are we? Like who cares? Like they're like this, nobody watches this thing. Like nobody watches this thing. And then, it was kind of like a strange like shock when we went to STCC and like we were just meeting so many people, and I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. Okay, so
Mhm.
maybe a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's people watch.
That's
People
true.
be watching. Even
People be
for
watching.
me, um, all the way from Toronto to San Diego, there were a couple people who were like, "Yo, you're toying around, right?" And I'm like, "Did Mario pay you to do this? Because he's done it before."
Has
Um,
he really?
he has. He has. No lie. People in the chat are witnesses to this. So I'm still very cautious all the time. Just like, where's the
Same.
camera? Where's the camera, you bastards? Uh, but just to be like, yeah, that's me. And she's like, oh, can we take a photo? Yeah, cool, of course. Why? Like, who am I? You want to take a photo? Yeah, okay. What are you
Yeah,
doing with
for
this
sure.
photo? It's just like the same way, I met you guys or other people I want a photo for, to remember that moment and just be like, yo, that's cool, man. I remember when I saw that person and we got to hang out, especially when I was like blackout drunk at Coin Op. But
Yes, great photo.
it, uh, that's it. It's just it's weird to me. It's very weird that that kind of stuff happens. But we can be thankful for that.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
was raised on the I was raised on the values of like never brag about anything or
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
anything like that, and not even like, it even went deeper than that. Never brag about anything, and then do not even dare think about how good you have it. Like
Yeah.
like
For me, in my mind, it's like there's always somebody better, man. Like
absolutely.
strive to be better. Am I the best?
No, never.
Like look into yourself. Like, can I say I'm the best at anything? I can accept that, but at the same time, it drives me to be like, yo, let's get better. What can I do better?
True.
Right?
Absolutely, yeah. There's always like a little like hater version of me in the back of my head hating on myself, which is quite healthy. I advise that for everybody.
Yo, I have a hard drive and there's 7 different folders from like 7 different phones. I'm like, whenever I get a new phone, I just dump all the files on there. It's like, yeah, I'll sort these later. Never happens. I go through once and I found a bunch of screenshots from this toy dude. Uh, people will figure it out. It's from years ago.
Mhm.
Um, known to be like making a lot of racist comments to people in the community. I was doing T-shirts for a little bit,
Okay,
and
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
dude like straight up bit the design. So
Oh
I had a
no.
bunch of screenshots of that dude and some of the stuff that he said. And dude, one of them I realized because I haven't known you that long. Like at that time, I don't think like I knew the name, but we didn't really talk much.
Mhm.
So I see the screenshot the other day from years ago, and like this dude's like uh just going at you, not even hiding, just like straight insulting you. And your response
Me?
was like, yeah. And he's like, yo, have a blessed day, brother.
Oh yeah. Was
I'm
it
like,
was it double
wow.
D?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
That's
like, damn, this dude has just been like this kind of positive energy. And
Yeah.
and in my head, when I read it, I picture you doing that laugh right now because that's how I know you are. And I'm like, that's what a fucking way to handle it. Because I would not have done the same thing, man.
Yeah, with people like that, you just gotta kill them with kindness, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like everything, there's nothing that you've said to me that you can say to me that again, the little hater version of me is not constantly saying to myself in the back. Maybe not the chomo part, but because that was like a wild thing he said, and I was like, oh, for real? That's wild.
Yeah.
It is so insane and ludicrous that like I couldn't even be bothered to like even be mad about it.
It's
that
wild stuff.
that
We don't see that dude around anymore, right?
no, I you know.
Well, I blocked. Again, it's like I don't need that. I don't need that
Oh,
kind of
true.
negative.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
want it coming up in my feed. I don't need to be like, oh, how racist is that person now? Or how crazy is this person now? It's like just eventually just weed it out of your system. You're good. Live your life, move forward, have fun. Like look at all the cool people out here.
Mm,
I'm gonna waste my energy and my life looking at that stuff. Like
yeah,
we get
that's
to we
true.
get to do stuff like this. We get to hang
Absolutely.
out. I got 6 hours with the enablers every month. Like, damn, that's where my time is going.
Yeah, it's much easier to deal with like positive people. Obviously, duh. What a what a 300 IQ statement, Poncho. Jesus Christ. But like I think it's interesting whenever people like that pop up in the community because like what's the end game, dog?
Yeah.
What's the end game? And like it was just to go back to what you were saying earlier about like do I let that stuff affect me? It just depends on what it is, right? There are quite a few like negative people in the community and they find their audience. There's an audience for everything out there
Yeah.
or whatever. And it's not even necessarily that like I dislike them or like I hate those people or whatever. Like our just vibes just don't mix. So there's no point in like butting heads with those people or
Mm.
whatever. And that stuff doesn't really bother me because I just like phase it out. I think even with that guy, I didn't block him because my stupid brain is always in like network mode. Like I won't block these people.
No.
I won't block these people. I'll hide their posts, but I won't block them just in case like something happens or whatever. But that's just what opportunity am I going to share with
That would
that
be
guy?
such an extreme opportunity. Like what could possibly happen when with you being like, okay, I can deal with that
Yeah,
comment. Like I can deal with this. That's wild, man.
it's crazy. But yeah, that stuff. The only stuff that's ever affected me is whenever like whenever it's a whenever like it gets like too real, like and it starts affecting like other people and like I'm in a
Okay.
position to what do you call it, to change the outcome.
Oh,
and
okay.
and then and then I'm just like racking my brain on like the best solution for it. So like if
Do you
they oh go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, go
No, I
ahead.
was gonna say, do you involve your wife in some of this stuff?
So I'll tell her, like I'll talk to her about a lot of stuff, um like a lot of stuff that comes with like adminning stuff and just being in like an admin position over in being in an admin position in a community. And like
Hmm.
you kind of feel responsible to like make it like super positive. And it kind of becomes, it sounds like really whack and really like preachy, but it almost becomes like your burden to like make sure that other people feel like as included and make sure people are having like a good time in the community. And then sometimes you have
Yeah.
people that come in and try and you know what do you call it, just like troll people and do all that stuff. And that's when it like really affects me. Never in a situation where people are like targeting me, but like people in the community and like they're just having like a genuinely bad time. And I'm like, oh my god, like what am I gonna do about this? Like
Yeah.
what is the best way to like handle this situation and stuff like that. And that's like the only time where I'm really like, oh my god, and then it like affects like my real life or whatever.
Hmm.
uh
Yeah. I try to keep that. I'll talk to my wife and be like, oh, can you like this happened, and then because like I mentioned earlier, we've had very different experiences, and she's got like a very alternative kind of like point of view for some of this stuff, especially not being into toys, but like a civilian,
mhm,
right?
great,
So
great name.
she's always got like this is about toys, you losers. Like what? Why? How is there beef? So I'll sometimes bring that up to her, and she gives me like a clear-headed, rooted in reality response that
Yeah,
kind of
okay.
kind of helps guide me on what to do. So
How much is your wife involved with like this whole online presence of yours?
she watches she's watching the kids while I stream. Yeah, like, they're in bed, but she's the first line of defense. She's the first line of defense on enablers nights. She will do the dishes. Normally I do them, but she'll know that I come up at like 2:30.
Mm,
2:30 a.m. and I'm not about to clean some kids' water bottles at that time, so she'll or things like that. So she handles it that way. Everything like production wise, post, videos, everything. It's just me.
hell yeah,
Um,
dude.
but she does like, she's supportive. That's
That's beautiful.
yeah. Like the 3D printing. We both do 3D printing. She's like,
Oh, she does
you know,
3D
let's
printing too? That's crazy.
no, but she's like, no, let's make a space for you to like get all the
Oh,
stuff
okay.
together, and then I'll bounce ideas off her like, do I need this Galactus? And she'll be like, well, if you miss it now and you want it later, it's going to cost you more to buy it. If you
Yeah,
get it now and you change your mind, you'll sell it. The worst case scenario is you'll get your money back. You'll break even. I'm like,
that's
fucking
crazy.
love you,
You know,
fucking love you, and I
yeah,
ordered it.
dude, hell yeah. You know what you need to do? Well, I don't know if you need to do this, but if Rebecca was on the enablers, she would sweep because she enables me every single time
Sweet.
with
No way.
every single thing. Today we were at Walmart. This is a sneak peek for toying around later this week.
Oh yeah,
But the retro turtles were there. Just like the like the Playmates re-release of like
the
the old, yeah,
re-release by Playmates.
yeah.
Rip, rip, rip.
And like, but it's the one where you can hide their weapons in like their
Oh,
shells or whatever.
dude, I had those originals. I played like all of mine are scuffed, like all the feet are scuffed, the paint's gone on all of those. I love those. Nice pickup.
Yeah,
Hell
so
yeah.
I saw those there and I was like, oh man, like this is really cool. I've always thought about getting those, but like I'm such like an articulation like nut
Mhm.
like that. I'm like, okay, cool. I had my time with those when I was a kid, and like it's just whatever. I don't need it. Huge shout out and low key, like, why'd you do this to me? To Captain McKay. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, Captain McKay. Huge shout out to Captain McKay. Everybody, do yourself a favor. I'd watched this video a long time ago, but somehow I just found myself watching it last night again. It's his Ninja Turtles retrospective where he goes over like all the Ninja Turtles toys. It's a couple of years old by now. I think it's like 3 years old by now. But he goes through all the toys from like the first Playmates to like
Is
the
that the one when there's 4 turtles on the thumbnail and each
yeah,
one is from a different line?
yeah, and it says which is the best or
Yeah,
whatever.
dude, that came up in my feed the other day. These algorithms are
Saying.
are stupid. I'll send something to the group chat, and then it's just that that feeling you send it, and someone's like, "Yeah, I saw that." Like, what the fuck? Just fucking enjoy it. Yeah, I know you saw it because that's why Instagram's sending it to me. Just tell me that you like it. Just tell me, just tell me that you like it.
Yeah, just say cool.
But
Just
yeah,
thanks for sharing.
just double tap. Just double tap. That's all you got to do. I'll take that. But yeah, I saw that thumbnail.
Yeah, so huge shout out to him. I watched it last night and then like I was like, damn it. All right, okay, cool. I think it'd be really great to own those like super like retro looking ones because it'd be cool to have a display with everything and just see the evolution of everything. So I saw them today while I was grocery shopping. Literally less than 2 hours ago, I
Mhm.
saw like the RAF and I was like, all right, cool. This RAF looks cool. And then like I'm going through them, I'm flipping through them. Becca's like right next to me. And I was like, dude, it'd be sick if they had if they had like Leo and like Leo's there. And I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. And I was all
Uh-oh.
like, because there's 3 rafts in a row, and like there was a short peg, and I was like, all right, cool. I mean, like, it sucks that they don't have everybody here. Then like there's Mikey, and I was like, oh my god. And I was like, I'm only gonna get this if all 4 of them are here.
The rule of 4, baby. Rule
And
of 4.
exactly. And then that peg didn't have anything, but I look like 2 pegs up. And then there was Donnie at the very back, and I'm like, oh my god. I was like, all right, okay, I guess I'll get these. And then I'm like,
Mhm.
$40. It's not so bad, but I was like, this is a grocery trip. Like, do I really want to add?
Yo, is that why you were late?
Yes, that's exactly why I was late. To be fair, we were actually grocery shopping.
Sounds like it.
That's true. So like, I was all like, so I was contemplating. I had it in my cart. And then like I was looking at them the whole time and I was like, no, do I want to get this? I don't know. And then we were in the bread aisle, and then like I was looking at them again, and like there's like a weird paint app thing with Raf's eye. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put this back. Like I don't need this right now. It's gonna be whatever. Like I don't want to add $40 to this. And I was like, I'm just gonna go. And Becca's like, you shouldn't do that. Like as soon as you put them away, you're just gonna wish you bought them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, dude. Like, I know what you're just saying this because that's what I want to hear, and like you love me or whatever. So then she's like, no, you should get them. And I was like, all right, well, maybe I'm gonna go back and we'll see if like there's a better like QC RAF out there. So I go back there. Of course, there's a better QC RAF, and then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I don't need them all, and I start putting them back, and then I realize that there's only Raphael is the only one there that has doubles and triples, and like these are the last Mikey, Donatello, and Leonardo there, and I was like, all right, I might as well get them, but then I'm like, no, because it's like 40, like maybe not, and then I see at the top, I see that there's more.
Stop looking up.
There's more
Just keep
up there
looking up.
on top of the shelf. There's even more, and I'm like, okay, well, who is it? And so like in the wave, there's like a bunch of villains and stuff too. It's like a Baxter and like a Bebop and Rocksteady, and like the Toad guy or whatever. And I was like, I really wish they had a Shredder. And I was like, you know what? If they don't have Shredder, I'm cool. I'm just gonna put it back. So I'm putting them all back, and then I see at the very back, there's one more left, and I flip it over, and it's a Shredder, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh no.
And I was like, all right, cool, I'm buying them. And then I get back, and then Becca was like, I told you. Like, you should have just saved yourself the trouble and then just bought them. So like Becca is like always, she's like her
That's
main
awesome.
thing is always like, you're just gonna want these figures. So like, why are you even bothering contemplating? Is this a show for me that you're trying to like put up? Like sometimes
call you out on that?
sometimes I like no, she's never said that, but like I think that in the back of my head, like I'm trying to like, I don't, it sounds terrible, but like I'm playing some sort of like crazy insane 3D chess with my wife. Like
See, I have restraint.
yeah, exactly. Right. So yeah, man. She should be on
That's
Neighbors.
funny.
And
That's funny. There's you branched off another timeline where, there would have been 4 Ninja Turtles next to the baguettes or whatever it is you're looking at, and someone would have walked by and be like, ha, someone had to make a life decision. And they saw that stack there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Yeah, it's nuts. So yeah, I'm always like super thankful for Rebecca and like how supportive she is about like the hobby and everything, and how she's, because it's so crazy. Like sometimes, no offense to everybody out there, there's like a lot of like older heads in the community, and like they're on like it's pretty
Old
tight,
heads,
pretty tight to hate my wife type shit or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like
My old lady.
yeah, a sentiment that I have no connection to at all. I could never fathom doing something like that. But like they're always like, yeah, I always have to like hide figures from my wife. And you see all those memes about like hiding figures from your wife or like your significant other or whatever. And I'm like, I've never ever experienced that ever in my life. Except one time I got shit for something. We were at we were at New York Comic Con, and we were about to go home, and like a bill came out, and then like our fund money was a little bit less depleted, and then the SHF Hulkbuster charged, and and then that was like a $280 figure.
Yeah. It's a big boy.
But everybody was talking about the aftermarket price for it, which is like $350. So everybody was talking about $350, and Becca always says, you spent $350 on a Hulkbuster. And I'm like, no, it's not necessarily $350. You don't understand because of the conversion rate. It's $270, but whatever. Sure, fine. It's
Dude, I spent $120 on those 4 Turtles 2-packs the other day.
Oh.
But I've been like humming and hawing over these shirts because they were like $80 from Roosevelt's. The ones that have like the full print pattern.
Hell yeah!
One of them has the Spider-Man meme of him pointing.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a button up. And like since before Comic-Con, I've been looking at those shirts, and like $80 for a shirt, that's kind of crazy. Even like $30 for a shirt, I'm kind of like
same,
hesitant.
dude.
And it's like, 4 Ninja Turtles and 4 bad guys, $120. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's
why
go.
not? Why not?
Why not? That makes sense to me.
You like those turtles, huh?
I didn't want to. I didn't want to because I was holding out for imports.
Oh
for
yeah.
Mutant Mayhem. So I was going to go get villains. Because my theory is historically, I haven't seen import companies make Ninja Turtle villains.
True, very true.
So, and Playmates does a great job of putting out all the bad guys.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll just grab those. And then I saw the 2-packs were out, and they had a diorama piece. I went to go return something at Walmart, and then it was the same thing as you. I saw like one turtle pack, and I'm like, well, I can't get it if it's just one. And then there was another end cap on the other side of the island, and I'm like, they're all here. It's like Principal Skinner. I'm like, they're all here. And and then there was a diorama, so like the whole like what's a diorama comes into play. But like these dioramas kind of suck, but at least I opened them and I actually made a video. But I got the bad guys. The kids have they were playing with the turtles today. Actually, they're having a lot of fun. My
That's
kids love the
cool.
movie.
That's wholesome,
Yeah.
dude. Hell yeah, dude.
For a while I forgot that the kids could go to the movie. I've been saying it for the last few weeks. I was so pumped that I'm like, oh, I gotta get tickets. It's like, who's gonna watch the kids when me and my wife go? And then like, wait a minute, this might be a kids movie. I should I bring them? Like,
Yeah.
should I get them tickets? So they loved it. They loved it. It had a lot of fun, and it's whatever turtle generation. Like you said, there's a lot of old heads, but
Mhm.
there's a lot of new people in this
Absolutely.
hobby. So whenever we talk about turtles, there's Cap Lives always shows up, and he's like, this is the best version, and we're
Mhm.
like, no, like the turtles movie and that cartoon is the best. It's still not the best version. It's just what I grew up with.
True.
But but the fact that every generation has
Their own turtles.
an entry point to turtles,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a
baby.
beautiful thing. I didn't really like you talked about on the pod on the I was listening to you guys when I was
That's
buying the
right.
turtles. Yeah.
That's right.
So, what the hell was I saying? Oh, the lore changed a little bit, which I wasn't so happy about.
Mhm.
But I'm just like, it's just a different version.
Just a different
It's
version,
like
baby.
it's like the Batman movie coming out in the
Yeah.
middle of all this other versions of Batman. So it doesn't make sense, but it's there, and we'll like it.
Yeah,
It's fine.
that was the only complaint that I've seen around the internet is the lore change to some of the characters
Mhm.
and whatnot, and like what side of the moral compass they sit at. I'll
Yep.
say, but like it's also like when you really think about it, like it's kind of like that's like a kind of like super wholesome spin on the whole thing, because why wouldn't all these individuals find a common ground like that and all like be and all come
Yeah.
to that conclusion? I'm trying to
Yeah.
be as spoiler light as
Skirt
possible.
around
Yeah.
again, this is the American-born Chinese thing all over again.
Yeah.
Just dancing around the details.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed it. I really liked it. The only spoiler I'll give away is I never thought that in 2023 I would see another Jackie Chan fight in my life, and I'm so happy
Yeah.
that like we
Did you
got
like
one.
him? Did you like his voice as Splinter?
I liked it. I dug it.
I think I liked it more knowing that it was him.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if I didn't know it was him, it'd just feel like, oh, that's a cool performance. But like the fact that I knew it was him and then his action sequence made it like elevated that action sequence into something that I wasn't even prepared for. Like I was like, this is crazy. Like
Yeah.
I love Jackie Chan fight scenes. Like it's probably some of my favorite stuff ever. It's not like real kung fu or whatever. It's not like traditional kung fu, but like I love how it's always like there's always just other shit in there, like chairs.
Yeah.
And refrigerator
There's
doors.
comedy, and then there's like what around you can be
Yes.
turned into a weapon.
Absolutely.
And it's very cool to see that stuff in this movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's very nice. I love that whole sequence. It was so good.
yeah, he had probably one of the best fights.
Yeah. Did you watch any like trailers or previews for this movie? at all?
Probably a few, because at first I was very skeptical. I'm like, Seth Rogen, but then this whole like I'm like that doesn't make sense. But then that whole like themes of like teenagers and growing up, I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And then I saw the animation and the trailers, so I saw a few trailers and I was like, yeah, I can get behind this. And the more I saw, the more I was buying into it and more hyped I was getting for it, to the point where I'm like, yo, I'll even buy the like
let's go turtle tots, baby.
they're ridiculous. They don't do anything.
No,
They
absolutely nothing.
They just have like deformed heads and
So deformed head.
yeah, set you up there, and
Absolutely.
they're fun. They're just so fun to look at.
I love them.
There you go.
There we go. It's beautiful. Beautiful thing. Yeah, I watched nothing. I watched the first 2 trailers and that's it.
Mhm.
And like I don't watch TV or anything anymore. I'm a scumbag and use ad blocker. So like I never watched anything, and I was like shocked with like how many cool sequences that were in the movie that were in the trailers and in like the TV spots and everything. And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't watch any of this stuff because nothing would have been new for me.
Damn. Well, you know what I've been watching? I started watching King of the Hill again last
Let's
night.
go, dude.
I think you're one of the few people I know that like King of the Hill.
Really?
You and Rick.
Dang. I guess there's not.
Is Fabster into it too?
Yeah, he's into it. Like he respects it and appreciates it, but I don't know if the love is there quite on the same level as Rick and I.
Mm.
Because there was a point in my life where I was literally watching King of the Hill every single day of my life.
Really?
Yeah, like it's like the perfect for me and my wife, it's the perfect show to put on while like we're just hanging out or eating dinner or whatever, and like going to bed. Like there was a point where like it would just be on when it just be on. That's it. And we just like go through the entire show. Whoops. We'd go through the entire show and we'd go to bed watching it too. Like it's
Really?
like it's the perfect show to just have on. And I don't know. It doesn't really surprise me too much that it's not crazy popular
Mhm.
up there, because like surface level, it's just like a show about like, you know, weird rednecks in Texas that do like
Yep.
stupid shit. But like, have you ever watched it before or no?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool.
I used to watch it before, and that's why I'm still into it now.
Hell yeah. So like I think the best thing about that show is that once you get past like the top layer of like of its appearance and what you think it's about, like you really start to see that like it's not as like tropey as
No.
it makes itself out to be. Like of course there are tropes in that show, and
Mhm.
but like they kind of use that to like their advantage to like subvert your expectations. Like I think the best example of how to really subvert your expectations about that show is the episode where Hank shakes George Bush's hand, because like you expect like Hank to be like this diehard like conservative dude, and like no matter what he would vote for like for Bush, and then he
Mhm.
has like this almost like existential crisis because his handshake is soft. It's like the crazy. It's like
Oh.
it's so funny, dude.
I remember that. He had a Yoko experience. Yoko got that meeting John Barenthal.
Did she really?
She's
Oh,
like, I can't
no.
see him as the Punisher.
Oh no, dude. The dainty handshake, dude. That's crazy.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
would you do? Yoko's in the chat right now. Like, what do you think? Do you think it's because he was just being like polite and he didn't want to like shake your hand like crazy hard, dude? If it was, it's the same grip no matter the gender, baby. I don't care. Like it's got to be a solid handshake. That's how I show respect.
The episode last night, the former football player moves in on the street, and then he
Mm.
has a late party, and Hank was like, he's in bed because it's like 11 o'clock, and he's talking about he made an exception to the code
Yeah,
that he
the
has
block
in the
party
street.
code.
Yeah, and then Peggy's like, oh, I love it when you talk about changing the yeah. It's like really turns me on. And then Hank's like, well, sorry to be a tease. And I'm like, what the yeah, like he's such a square, but he'll say like he actually thinks that like he's being a tease
Yeah,
for her.
that's dude.
And
that
then she
show.
wants an appeal because she's like, I want to appeal for when I had my event. So it's
Yeah.
like, yo, he stuck to the rules
Yeah.
and fined his wife for the block party rules. It's so good. It's so simple. It's not just about, you know, these people rednecks in Texas.
Yeah.
It's fun, man. It's
so
fun.
good.
The characters are great.
Rebecca loved that show. She loves that show. I love that show. our like Rebecca and I, our love language is just repeating shitty references and memes to each other like all day, like almost like
That's the best.
yeah, 30% of our conversation, I would say, which is a lot, is just like lifted from other source material. So like even to the point where when, when I got dropped off, when she dropped me off for San Diego, I hit her with a handshake at the airport. But obviously, like I hugged her as well. But like, there's a great episode where Peggy goes to Mexico to tutor Monsignor Martinez's like real life children.
Yeah.
And then Hank like drops her off at the airport, and then she was like, "All right, bye." And then he's all like, "Nope." How about a firm handshake?
I love that gag that she thinks she can teach Spanish, but
Oh
it's
my
just terrible.
God.
It's one of the best running jokes.
So funny. Do you know
I love that.
Dale Gribble speaks Tagalog in King of the Hill? Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like buying, I think it's when he's buying alien urine. I can't remember. Probably not. No, Hank buys him alien urine. I think he's buying like maybe rat urine. Dale buys a lot of urine in that shit.
Yeah, he does.
But like he's talking to like some Filipino guy and he's speaking like just weird Tagalog. But like it's so funny because he speaks better broken Tagalog than Peggy does Spanish. It's
Oh,
so
no.
funny.
I love when shows put the effort to have the actors like say
Yeah.
lines correctly, and
Mm.
I don't not just for not to be racist, you don't want to have someone just speaking Chinese and it's just like, just gibberish, but like to put the effort to actually say the proper sentences.
Mhm.
I don't know what the hell was it Moon Knight? And they go into that village with, I don't know, Kevin Bacon and his
Mm.
whole cult
Yeah,
speaks
yeah,
all
yeah.
those. They were not speaking Mandarin. They're like, we speak a lot of languages here. I'm like, that ain't no language I ever heard of.
Yeah,
It was terrible.
I think Bjorn Going Geek pointed that
Yeah.
out as well. He was like, "It's not any kind of Mandarin I speak, brother."
Yeah, it was doo doo. Yeah, I'm like, you couldn't all this effort you put it, you can do one line. Like I've had people who write comics be like, hey, can you translate this for me into Chinese? I'm like, that's all it takes. Just message one
Yeah,
person.
that's it.
You have, I'll do it because we're friends. But it's like, it is Ethan Hawke. Damn it again. You're telling me they don't look alike.
No. Little apology towards. No, it's no big deal. Said it with the
Yeah,
disclaimer.
headlined
Right.
by another great. What was it? Yeah, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Just one message
That's
to the
it.
other Chinese guy.
Just reach out. That's all you gotta do.
I'm out here healing the community, guys.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, one suspect interaction at a time, huh?
Yo, you know what's weird though? I sometimes, we were talking about like moving here
Mm-hmm.
and the American dream. My dad came here. He opened a photography developing store.
Oh, nice.
So like film people,
Yeah.
like you had to take it to a store, 1 hour
Mhm,
photo,
mhm.
do all that stuff. And I was there a lot of the time. And sometimes I would take the passport photos. I'd learn,
Mm.
I learned how to use a camera that way. And then later on, when I started doing toy photography and getting into photography,
Mhm.
I had completely forgotten about that store until that point where I'm like, oh shoot, I remember like looking at film. There are different film speeds and ISOs that you can get for specific shoot, whatever events you're shooting.
Mhm, mhm.
I'm like, wow, this was already in my brain. So I started like, I'd message him like, no, do you still have those old cameras?
Oh, whoa.
He's like, no, I got rid of all that stuff.
no.
But I'm like, man, like this was already kind of in my brain from a while ago. I never even considered that until getting into photography for all this stuff now.
Mm. Dude, what a pimp move it would be for you to enter Photo Combat and use a film camera. Jesus Christ, dude.
I still have I have a Fuji.
Let's go, dude.
I think it's a 35 millimeter film Photo Combat. Do I still have to do the videos? I just have to take a series of photos and just turn them into a movie?
Well, video is World Tournament. Photo Combat is just photos.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so you be good. You be good, dude. And it's crazy how interestingly and similar that our lives like match up. My dad also was like a photography guy. He was a photographer.
Oh wow.
He was a journalistic photographer for a long time, and then he switched over into just like editorial work, and he was like a senior editor for a bunch of like different newspapers. But like he was in, I think he was a journalist. He was a journalistic photographer in the Vietnam War, and like a bunch of other stuff too. And I remember him having like so much like photo equipment and like video equipment too when I was a kid. So like I've like was messing with all that stuff when I was younger as well. It's interesting how our lives like are matching up. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy, baby.
So like all the production stuff that you do, what was it starting from there that kind of moved you into all this, or you just kind of went that direction because of, well, you said you were making videos with your friends even
Mm-hmm.
in like high school, right?
Yeah, and
So
like
you're already doing that.
yeah, well, I was messing with like my dad's camera and stuff, even like as early as like middle school and maybe even elementary school as well. So I guess like messing with all that stuff and my dad's equipment was like the gateway into learning that I had an interest in that stuff.
Yeah.
And then like I took that and then like I ran with that in like my own direction. Um I would say like all the production stuff really stems from when I was in like middle school and I was making AMVs, anime music videos. So
Super Asian.
yeah, absolutely. So that's where I learned how to like edit videos and do all that stuff, and I learned that like I really enjoyed doing that kind of stuff. um and that's basically what births a lot of this stuff is just like me wanting to try out new things, like a virtual set. That's the whole reason this show exists.
Yeah, I love that.
Because like one weekend I was like, I want to do a virtual set, and I was like, all right, what am I going to do with this? Nothing. And I go, oh, maybe I should have people on. That'd be cool.
Are you like a talk show? Do you watch talk shows and stuff and interviews? Like, is that how this got into your brain to be
No.
behind a desk and talking to people?
Absolutely not. You want to know why this is set up the way this is set up? Is because I needed a way. Hold on one second. We will see it in just a second. The reason there's a desk in here and there's a coffee cup and like all of that stuff is because I desperately needed a way to hold on. I needed
Suspense is killing me, dude.
So like you can see down here, I needed the coffee cup there because I
Mhm.
needed a way to mask when my shoulder clips out of the frame. And then the desk is there is because my camera, it can't sit far back enough to get a crazy wide shot. So the desk needs to be there so it can, I don't know why it's not working. Oh, so it can like mask the bottom half of my body.
I like it. I
um
like it. That's smart. I
but
love that you made it with toys though. It's so cool.
oh yeah, that was like the main thing. I was like, it has to be shot with toys, like, because then what's the point? Like I could just like,
What are we really doing at
yeah,
that
because
point?
I could just do like weird assets or whatever. But yeah, that's the whole reason this show exists, is because like I made like this virtual set with all like the toys and stuff everywhere. And then I was like, cool. And I've wanted to like interview people for a super long time, or just not even necessarily an interview, but like just have like a very like casual and like candid conversation
Yeah.
with people. And yeah, it all just stemmed with me wanting to do this stupid virtual set.
Bro, I got home from San Diego and I I don't know where I heard it, but you're like, "Oh man, we shot so much B-roll for the podcast." And I was like, "Kevin, you fucking idiot. I didn't even organize a team photo for the enablers." Like it was such a rookie move. And like and granted, like people, there are members who are working and
Mhm.
they're there for work. But I think if we had an effort to do it, like we could have come together for like even 5 minutes or something somewhere in the con. But dude, like to get footage, you guys, the new intro, and that's why I'm just like watching your work. again, it seems silly because people are like, oh, Kevin, sometimes seeing your stuff is really inspirational. I'm like, you're weird. I'm not. But then I'm like, yo, dude, I'm like looking at you, and I'm like, man, that's what I should have done. Like that's that kind of thinking and like pre-planning. That's like what I should aspire to keep in mind.
Hmm.
And it's the King of the Hill intro. I'm changing the channels, dude. I loved it. I loved it. I'm watching it, and I was like, I loved it, but at the same time, I was hating because I was like, of course, this is good.
Well,
Like, why wouldn't it be?
I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it.
That's my new thing. Of course, why wouldn't it be good? Like, damn.
Yeah, like yeah, I really enjoyed doing all of that stuff. It's like, again, like I like killed myself like reminding like the boys all week. I was like, hey, we got to get B-roll today. Like, got to get B-roll today. Like, what are we doing? It's Saturday. We got to get B-roll.
Yeah, man. I should have blocked out some time for that. It would have been cool.
I think a lot of it comes with, what's interesting? A lot of that, I would say, like, creativity comes from like the lack of stuff. So like I wanted to shoot realistically. Bug mentioned it on the podcast like a couple of days ago or a couple of shows ago, because this was the plan. The plan was to shoot enough footage to where we could change the intro like every couple of like months, and then that did not happen at all.
That's very ambitious. That sounds very ambitious. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Absolutely.
But it's like, yo, can we just have some fun?
That's
There's
true.
a call time, 7 a.m. call time.
And like that's where it comes back to, like, you shouldn't really beat yourself up about that stuff, because like it was so easy to forget that, like, I know I say that like I reminded these guys every day, but realistically I reminded these guys every day on the way back from the con. Like, oh shit, we should have gotten B-roll. Like, we should get B-roll tomorrow. And then like every day it's like we don't remember to do it. But so like there was like little weird bits and pieces of footage that I had that didn't really match up. Like when we saw that fence at the Airbnb, we were all like, all right, cool. It's it. We got to do it. We got to do a King of the Hill reference awesome. Immediately. Yeah. So we did that. That was the first
came up. Who said that first?
I think it was a combination of Rick and I. Rick pointed out.
Was it just one of those moments where you just look at each other and like you already know the other person's thinking that?
Hell yeah. I think Rick was like, look at that fence. And I think we both said at the same time, like, oh my God, we got to do a King of the Hill thing. Like, immediately. But so we did that. And then that didn't really fit anywhere in the intro. Like, because like if you do that gag, it has to be with the King of the Hill music. Like, it doesn't
make sense without the music.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, do I just update the intro and the whole thing is just King of the Hill? And like, but that doesn't really make sense, because King of the Hill's whole intro is just a time lapse of them or whatever. So it really wouldn't make sense. So then, because of that like obstacle of those two pieces of footage not meshing together, and that piece of footage not having a place with anything else we shot, I was like, oh, I'll just have it to where it's like changing channels. I was like, okay, that works out. And then
so good. So good. Of course it's good.
And then like
what were those bottles you guys were holding?
Oh, dude. I had the biggest we just had like huge ass bottles of water, because nobody wanted to carry around multiple bottles of water. This is a peek into the brains of the boys on the podcast. Nobody wanted to carry around like 2 or 3 bottles of water in their backpack. So we just got bottles of water that were the same size as 2 or 3 bottles of water. It's the same weight. Like, it's the same burden. Like, I understand like having like different bottles and stuff. Like, yeah, that does make sense. But like, I just had like a huge ass piece of, oh, this is my wife's. I'm not this vain or whatever. This is like my wife's. Judgment. It's my wife's.
No judgment.
I put it up and I was like, oh no, it's all my stuff.
You made her put an ACBA podcast?
I did not make her. This is all her own free will. She's her own person. This is all her. This is all her. I brought these home, and then she was like, can I put these on my mug? And I was like, do you want to? And she was like, yes. And I was like, all right, cool. cool. Number one fan. You love to see it.
What was your equipment setup for, like, I had this idea of like the 360 cam was gonna be
Oh,
my go-to, and
yeah,
I'd go
dude.
into the booth and do all the interviews and stuff like that, and I just ended up doing iPhone, which worked better
Dude,
than I had expected. What's
I'm
your setup?
saying, dude, I was the same way. You know, I'm not quite as fancy as you. I don't have a 360 camera or anything like that. I would like one because they seem
Mhm.
like super cool, and I'm
Yeah.
very interested in like that technology and whatever. But I was the same way. I had grand ambitions, illusions of
Mhm.
grandeur, some would say. And like I brought my DSLR with my big fat ass telescopic lens, or telephoto lens, and then I had it on the monopod. So I always had a freaking 3-foot monopod sticking out of my DSLR every single time, and had that thing slung over my shoulder the entire time. Then I had my iPhone on my DJI, and then I had wireless mics set up and all that stuff. And
Mhm.
none of that shit mattered because the best footage I got was on the fucking iPhone. Or like just the convenience of the iPhone.
Yeah, it's the convenience. It might not be the best footage, but
True.
the when you're like on the go,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to buy toys and you're holding all that stuff, you got to meet people and worry about where everything is in your pockets. It's like
Yeah, it was
just
the
take
best.
just take it out. I streamed all the Legends and the Star
Yeah,
Wars stuff. I did all the booth interviews
on the
on
iPhone.
it with on the iPhone.
I
Let's get that spam iPhone sponsorship out here.
I'm saying, Apple and spam. You know, it's a match made in heaven. Come and sponsor both of us.
I've been the biggest iPhone hater, like for years, for years. And this is the stupid way I got into it, like recently. So if you're born in Hong Kong,
Mhm.
they give you, I don't know, the government has too much money. I don't know how this comes about, but they give you money
Must be nice.
like every year or two.
That's right. Yeah.
So first it was cash, and then it became this thing. They have this thing called an octopus card.
I love
That's
it.
just the name of the company. It's one of
Right.
those. It's in Asia. You know, you use it. It's credits. You can tap it at the grocery
Mhm.
store, Subway. You can use it on like these special watches. So then they give you credit for that. So when I got it, I'm like, where can I tap? Oh, like I can get it at an electronics store.
Mm.
And I always wanted like something that I could draw with. I wanted to like just watching people in the community who are so talented. I'm like, I
Yeah.
wanted to try stuff like like look at all the stuff Mike does. You know,
Yeah.
all the gear and all the craftsmanship and his production, all that stuff. And he's good at drawing. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? That's not fair.
Mike is a
So I'm
tour
like,
de force, baby.
yeah, I'm
It's
like, I gotta
unreal.
try this out. So I wanted the iPad that you can use the Apple Pencil and all that stuff. So I got that, and then DaVinci released a iPad version of their video editing software.
Mm.
So I'm like, what if I can film on my iPhone, airdrop it? That whole ecosystem is very
Yeah.
appealing to me.
It's
It's
crazy good.
it's just the fact that year over year they're like, oh, we just invented this feature called copy and paste for iPhones. And it's like, yo, I had this on Android for 3 years. You didn't invent anything. So that's why I was hating on it for so long. But then I'm like,
Mhm.
AirDrop is cool, and like iCloud and iMessage and all that stuff. You know, people who like the iPhone people who are snobs to people who text message. You know, they see it's like
Mm.
a certain color, they're like, puh. Or like, oh, WhatsApp? Puh. Like they don't, you know, so that whole ecosystem was very appealing to me. And so I could send my footage from my phone to the iPad, edit using DaVinci. It's almost as close it is on the desktop, and then have like full editing suite with
Mm.
using the pen and everything. So that was very appealing to me. But now it's, talking about convenience, I'm just using CapCut on the iPhone
Wow. Holy cow.
and just doing it from there.
Dang,
Even though
dude.
it's like really small. Just
I,
I don't know if it's laziness or convenience.
it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Convenience more so than anything. I'm such like a I'm such like a I'm like settled in my ways type of guy.
Mhm.
Thankfully not so much to the point where I still use Windows Movie Maker. But like
Oh, I used to use that.
hell yeah, dude, great
I
piece of
learned on
software.
that.
Me
I learned on
too!
that.
That's it. That's where all those Linkin Park AMVs came out, baby. But like the first like piece of video, like real video editing software I used was Vegas,
Okay.
Sony Vegas, and like
Yep.
that's it. That's all I use. And like I know it's like baby's first video editor or whatever, but like I'm not doing crazy shit.
Fisher Price.
Yeah, like I'm not doing anything crazy. Like,
Yeah.
but you know what's crazy is like I find ways to do crazy stuff with Vegas. So
Nice.
like, I don't know. I think I just like the challenge of using something that's not as intuitive as like a Premiere or an After Effects, and then finding
Mhm.
ways to do those effects in there. Same way with like with this OBS and whatever. OBS is like very like open and everything. You can do a lot of stuff in OBS, but like I know that StreamYard is easier, and
Yeah.
I know that like even Streamlabs is easier, but like I get like this weird, disgusting high of like emulating those
Having the
effects,
control.
yeah, in here, and like having like complete control over it. So
I think that's the Google, that's the Android user.
that's
versus-
true. I had an Android for I want to say like a year. I switched from an iPhone 7 to an HTC One Plus, I think.
Okay.
And like I loved the customization that I had over it, but my specific phone had this crazy bug where sometimes I just wouldn't get it, just wouldn't make calls wouldn't come through at all.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
remember
it happens.
at the time Rebecca was working at an Applebee's.
I think I heard this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was working at an Applebee's like a 2 miles away from our house, and she got off work one day at like 3 a.m. and then like she had to like walk all the way home. And like my phone was like in front of me on my desk. I
Mhm.
was on Twitch, like just hanging out, and like my phone was in front of me, and I could see like I got other notifications and stuff, but like she came to the door, and like I opened the door, and like dude, I immediately started like crying. I was like so sad. I was like, oh no, you had to walk all the way home. This is awful. And then literally, maybe not literally, but within like a calendar week, I had like sold that phone. I
Oh,
was like, yeah,
smart man.
never ever. I'll never do that
You had
again.
to.
Can't take that
You
risk.
had to do it. But yeah, no, for the shooting on the iPhone, it makes sense because like if you're at the convention,
Mm-hmm.
getting it out fast
Yes.
is key, right? You're not be like, I gotta upload this and go into my video software, then I gotta put all these cuts, and then I
Mhm.
gotta render the file, and then I gotta upload. It's like, yo, I just shot the interviews with like Kyle and Blaine and June from Jada Toy.
Mhm.
CapCut, make some quick. It's not fancy. This is like run and gun, right?
Yeah.
And then you render it in 4K, you upload from the app, and everything works. It's like,
It's nutty.
dude, that was it. If I was doing hunting around, then I'd take out the Sonys,
Yes.
right? The DSLRs and the ZV-1s, put it on the gimbal, and I have time
True.
to work on that stuff afterwards. So for those projects, I'd take out the big boys, the big guns.
Hell yeah. See, I need to get in that mindset, because I was like, I was still shooting for all our interviews. It was still DSLR for me, and then
Mhm.
and then you can see that now because our shit just came out. I think like the first thing that came out was our Jada interview. I think
I saw that the other day. Yeah.
I cut that. That's the first thing I cut when we got home. And then I cut the Hasbro interview too, and whatever. I feel like I could have done that at the show, if I really had to. But like, I don't know.
No, we're having fun, man. You don't want to be like, okay, show's done, and then you're walking home. You're like, oh, we should have got B-roll. Then you get back to the Airbnb. You
Yeah.
got to upload all your files. Like, we went out afterwards. Like,
Yeah, same.
enjoy the time out there. It's not like it's our job, right?
True. Absolutely. Well, on paper, it is our job. Well, for us, because that's how it's like the whole justification for the press.
True.
pass.
True. That is true. Because I have a friend who like shoots for celebrities and stuff.
Mhm.
He'll go to the events, and it's like, oh, it's so cool. You get to go to movie premieres and concerts. It's like, no, I shoot that stuff, and then I go
Yeah.
back while they're watching the movie. They want it for their social media. I got to cut all that stuff together, and it's like go, and like they
Yeah.
have full mobile setups to go. It's I don't think we're at that point with how we're covering the convention. Do they ask you? It's like, when are you gonna post this footage? Where where is it gonna go?
No, not really. Not for Comic-Con. I'd imagine it's just too big for Comic-Con. But smaller cons, I remember I covered AWA, which is Anime Weekend Atlanta, and somebody reached out to me, like I want to say like a week after the week after the con was over. They're like, "Hey, do you have any footage?" Like they asked it very politely, but but you know what they're really asking. They're like, "Do you have any links to whatever you shot or any coverage? We'd love to see what you covered with your press pass that we comped." And I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure. Like here's a podcast where I talked about it, and here's like another thing that we did and whatever." So for smaller cons, yeah, but I will say that like, it's good. It's mostly what you need for next year, because when we apply next year, they'll ask for the coverage we did this year.
Right.
So like that's like the best way. I think honestly, man. You should at least try for a press pass.
I'm gonna try for San Diego. I'll do that.
I am fairly confident that you'll get it.
I tried for a New York Comic Con and I got rejected within 24 hours. I've never seen anything processed that quickly in my life. I'm like, who's so on top of this right now that like I went to bed and the next day at lunch they're like, nope, sorry.
Oh my god. What were your references that you put?
For the content creator badge?
Mm-hmm.
So you need like 250,000 cumulative subscribers or whatever amongst all of your outlets. To get that 4-day pass for NYCC. They're like, but if you don't have it, you should still apply. So I'm like, hey, here's like all my coverage from San Diego Comic-Con. Literally just last week, I was on a panel. I got this footage, these interviews. No go. So all right.
Maybe it's a different avenue. You shouldn't go as a content creator. You should go as like a media outlet person.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the best way, because like because there's no wall of a certain follower count you have to have or anything like that. Just go like traditional like media coverage.
Okay.
Like traditional press. I would imagine that's how we do it as well. Not to like, spill too much inside baseball or whatever, but like but I would imagine that's how you do it, because like our main channel for ACBA, I say only, it's not an only thing, but like, Boog has just shy of 40,000 subscribers. The ACBA Instagram has something. I mean, I would have get like, if you really stretch it, I guess we do make 250 if it's everything, but like I would say that we just do regular stuff and we get in. It's really no big deal.
We do regular stuff.
Yeah, we just do regular stuff. Oh, whoops.
I thought you were looking up something.
I was looking up the follower count on ACBA. I totally forgot that I was screen capturing the stupid StreamYard thing. But yeah, man, I think if you just apply for regular press, I think you'll get it.
Yeah, I reapplied for press. I haven't heard back, so it's been more than 24 hours, so that's got to be a good sign, right?
That's true. What references do you put down when they ask for it? Like, what videos do you put down?
I've done some like vlogs for Toronto Fan Expo out here and Comic-Con. I think the SDCC stuff is basically, it's almost like your resume, right?
True, yeah.
I made a specific SDCC playlist of all the stuff too. So it's just all in one place.
You know what you should do? And coming up when you do your sorry, please excuse me. What's the event that you're planning that's happening next week? Is it next week?
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh fuck.
The tailgate. Yeah, the tailgate.
Yeah, toy tailgate, right? That's what it's called? Hell yeah, dude. You should do something with Paul. Like have him I don't know. I'm trying to like, it's like on paper it sounds like scummy and like you're using this man or whatever, but that's obviously not the case. But like very naturally, like, fold him into like a video you do and then present that video, because I feel like the celebrity presence of that, and then the fact that you're like chummy with this guy and like you're genuinely friends with him and stuff will put you in a better position for that kind of stuff, because that's all these guys give a shit about.
Yeah, I think I do have plans. There are a couple of friends of mine going who are like videographers and photographers, and I'm like, guys, whatever you get, please help me out. Like,
Hell
I
yeah.
can make that into a sizzle reel, and that's basically make use of it. Not make. Yeah, it's an event that I want to do, and it's fun because like these people who are doing it are friends,
Hmm.
friends of me and friends of the comic book shop also. So that's why they're like spending their Sunday coming out. But yeah, if I can get some footage of like the crowd
Yeah.
and people buying toys, people, all the vendors and things like that, uh, uh, that's gonna be content regardless of
Absolutely.
yeah.
So how did that whole thing come about? Like from conception to execution?
Oh, it was just okay. So years ago, in this Facebook group of collectors in Canada, um, there was a guy who worked at a bar,
Hmm.
and in the daytime, there's no people in the bar except for like degenerates. No, no, they weren't
Patty's
open
Pub
in the day.
situation.
Yeah, but we wanted a place where all the collectors could come like meet up, trade
Hmm.
toys, things like that, swap, whatever. And because he had that space, we could do that during the day. And we haven't done it in a few years. So I'm like, how can I make this happen? It's always getting a space. Um, and of course, like we talked about, I've been selling a lot lately. So most of my endeavors are rooted in selfish reasons because I wanted a space to sell my stuff. Uh, right.
No shame in
And
that.
you know
No
what?
shame in that.
As it's looking, I probably won't even have time to man my own booth tomorrow.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm like, yo, like, I know enough people. I talked to John at Heroes World. They have a huge parking lot there. I'm how can we make this happen? Is this possible? And then, after a few weeks of some back and forth, and then I'm like, hey, let's do it. Let's just do a tailgate. I'm not going to worry about, um, getting booths and whatever, this and that. Like, just it's tailgate. Come pull your stuff out of your car, bring a table, folding table if you want. And then going back to that Facebook group, I'm like, hey, this, and this is happening. Who's interested? And like, we have like 20 plus collectors from this area just to be like, oh, I got so much stuff to sell. Then I'm like, hey, Paul, I'm doing this event. Would you be interested in being part of it in like any capacity? And he is a fan of Heroes World,
Hmm.
and he's like, oh yeah, for sure. Let's go. Let's do it. I'll come out there. Be like, I obviously there is a draw. There is an appeal for Paul being there,
Mm.
because obviously local
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 legend.
fans, local legend, but also like being having a show in the country that's so huge. There's that fan base here,
Hmm.
uh, so that there's hopefully a draw. I'm so nervous. Like I'm
Oh
excited
yeah.
for it to happen, but I'm also nervous that it fails. But I'm also happy because I have plans. Like the ideas are always cooking. I'm
Hmm.
sure it's like that for you. You're not
Absolutely.
trying, but you see something and it's like, yo, I can do that and apply it
Yes.
to what I'm doing with this. It's you c- I don't turn it on, but I can't turn it off.
Mm. I know exactly
So
what you mean.
yeah, the moment you get up, any free time that you're not like focusing on work, it's like it happens all the time. So I'm like, okay, let's let's see if this works out tomorrow. And if it does, uh, I want to do it bigger, better, and just see like how we can have it pop off from there.
Mm.
And if it fails, at the very least, people know where Heroes World's new location is because some people will be physically there. They recently switched stores,
Hmm.
so um, yeah, just I'm just trying to do something different
Yeah.
with toys. It's like what's missing out there? What don't we have? I'm sure same for you, right?
True. 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 Absolutely. It's a very great segue. First of all, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. First of all, good luck.
Yeah, first of all, good luck. I mean, I know how stressful that kind of stuff can be, and the nerves and the anxiety you get when trying to live up to your own expectations and the expectations of others. So like, yeah,
Hmm.
man, genuinely, good luck, dude. It's like a
Thank
really
you.
sick thing that you put together, and I'm excited to see what the turnout is like for sure.
Oh boy. Well, there's gonna be free coffee, so there's
That's
that.
that's great.
Free coffee. Yep. You were at a loss for words. It was just a sound.
Yeah. Oh
Just
man,
boxes of coffee.
that's true. Hey, well, you know what? That's more than some other places
Yeah.
have.
I want it to be fun. I in the emails that I wrote to people, like I'm dedicated to making this work.
Let's
I
go.
feel like it's important to stress that to people. It's not just some big thing that I'm trying to like for clout or trying to get rich off of. Like this seems like a cool event
Oh
that
yeah,
hopefully takes off.
yeah. There's no question. Yeah, I think that I don't think you have to worry about anybody thinking about that. Like this is like a clout chase moment or whatever. I think this is a pretty selfless
No,
endeavor, honestly.
no, it's selfish.
I mean, like, for personal reasons or whatever,
Yeah.
but like in the grand scheme, it's not like, Kevin from Toying Around presents, the
Yeah.
butteriest event of the year or some shit like that. Or,
No, I want it to be about Heroes World. That's why it's
That's
like
true.
hosted by Heroes World.
Exactly.
Their logo is like front and center.
I'm
I want
saying.
it to be for the shop. Like, who cares about me? Like,
That's true.
I don't assume people recognize me or that
Same.
I'm any sort of thing. It's just like, yo, do it for Heroes World.
I'm saying that's
It's
how
not
I
like
live my
I'm not
life.
bringing anything to this. Paul's bringing something to this. Heroes World is bringing
it.
something to this. I'm not bringing anything to this other than, you got that Scarface mentality. Who put this thing together? Me. Building my IKEA furniture.
Incredible. What you were talking about earlier was a great segue into my next question. You talk about like always, thinking about stuff like the wheels are always turning in your
Mhm.
head. How much of that was involved with hunting around? I've said it since the inception of that show, the first episode. I am not exaggerating this at all. Hunting around is the best toy content on the platform, period. 100%. And like
Dude.
I will sing that show's praises any chance I get. Like it is so good. For anybody in here, I can't imagine there's a single soul in here that hasn't seen that show. But like watch that immediately. I was blown away when I first saw that show. I was blown away by the production value, my friend.
Dude,
Not only
we were just talking about like it's fucking amateur hour
No,
on that stuff, man.
No. You're being too humble, my friend. It's
No, man.
it's like it's the foresight of having a camera crew being mic'd up and having two separate angles and all of that stuff, and the foresight of doing this in a situation where it's like I don't know how to say this, because I'm not sure how much that you've unveiled, how big of a peek behind the curtain that you've let people in on, but like the setting is very calm. There's not people walking around you or anything like that. It's just like everything about that show is like on like a production level that is like light years ahead of what anybody is doing in the toy community. I'm not joking.
Thank you. First of all, thank you.
Of course.
Coming from somebody whose production and like quality of content I do look up to.
Oh, thank you.
Much like you looking up in the toy aisle to find more turtles.
That's true.
It's that's very, very unexpected that it's even that what I did was on that level.
Oh no. Don't be shocked.
But you're right. The having the store on its own, like full reign to do whatever I want in there, goofing off, filming. Like I don't have to worry about, because I have some connections with people at the awesome folks at Toys R Us Canada. I personally love Toys R Us. As a single child again. In Asia, like I went to Toys R Us a lot and I got a lot of stuff there. So I always have great memories of that. So like the brand is something that I'm very fond of. So to be able to do that was crazy. So I pitched this idea and they're like, oh, would you do it, during store hours and then make it seem like there's people in the store all the time. And I'm like, I don't want to have to worry about blurring out kids' faces
Yeah.
and privacy issues. Like, we'll come in when there's no music before the store opens. And of course, every night they line up everything so it looks good for the next day at open.
Yeah.
So for on camera, that looks even better because
Mhm.
most comments on the videos were like, "I've never seen a Toys R Us that stocked. My Toys R Us doesn't look like that." And I'm like, "I'm not dressing the set. That's what they make the stores look like at close until morning." Um, so again, you and I, the shows that we watched, we have a
Mhm.
lot in common. Like The Office and King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Like comedy is something that I really love. If something I find funny, I can watch it over and over and over, and it'll still get the same reaction from me to the
Oh,
point
yeah.
where my wife's like, "Haven't you seen this? Like, how do you watch the same thing over and over?" I'm like, "It's funny.
It's funny as
Like,
hell.
I I love I love comedy. I may not be that funny, but I love like watching it and trying to study it. And
You're hella funny.
sometimes to the point where it's like there when stuff happens in real life and
Mhm.
I laugh at it and I'm like, I know I shouldn't laugh at it because this is wrong. But like if I were a stand-up comic, that's my did you ever notice moment? Like I would see
Mm.
that. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like a lot of that stuff, comedy and watching shows and sitcoms and things like that, that's very influential uh, on how I envisioned it. So like
Mhm.
having the second camera. It's also easy
Hell
for
yeah, dude.
it's easier for cuts
Oh, it's gotta
because
be. Yeah.
if something doesn't, you want to cut something out, but it doesn't really like their motion is different now all of a sudden
Mhm.
because you only have one camera, switch to camera two.
Saying, dude.
Switch to camera two, switch to the other person. And
It's a
then it just
300
makes it
IQ
seem
move.
like it's I didn't plan it. It works that way. Because
Happy accident.
in DaVinci, you can sync two video clips based on the same sound marker.
Oh, that's incredible. I
So
gotta
you
I gotta get on. This is
I
fun.
saw when we were doing the SDCC interviews, you did the clap so you
Yeah.
can find the sound marker,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. That's
From
me.
your from Bug recording on his phone to your video camera.
Mhm.
So you can do that with video files and it's like multi-camera editing and it's literally once it's synced, I press the number 1 for camera 1.
It's incredible.
And then if I want to switch to camera 2, I just press the number 2 and it automatically flips it. And then you can choose which audio track you want from which video
Oh,
file.
cool. Very
I'll
cool.
choose the one that had my wireless mic attached to it.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's just a matter of just flipping back and forth 1 2. It's like, "Oh, this is a little flat. We've been holding the shot for a while. Let's just switch to 2. Oh,
Mhm.
this guy's in frame. This doesn't look good. I'll switch to 1." And that was just it learning as I go, but from like concept to having like I guess a first season was like a year.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. How much pre-planning went into that? Was it just like a run and gun idea you had, or did you sit on it and let it cook for a little bit?
Pre well again, like I had the idea, I pitched it to Toys R Us
Mhm.
and then it took them a few months to confirm stuff and then finally they're like, "Yeah, let's get going. We should do this."
That's
Because
awesome.
they were aware of what I was doing. I had done some events for May the 4th for them, like
Oh,
online
cool.
live streams for Toys R Us and Hasbro. Um, so they were aware of what I was doing, and one of the art directors, I believe, like watches the channel here and there. So that's always good. So that's why it's like putting your content out there.
Mhm.
It the visibility. You never know who's watching, but that idea came about, and I'm like, okay, I just want to. Do I want it to be like a sitcom, or do I want it to be like an interview, or do I want it to be like comedians in cars getting coffee, or is
Mm.
it like Hot Ones, or is it going to be like complex sneaker shopping, something like that, right? So
Mhm.
these are like all these influences that I'm trying to balance all at once. Um, like to the point where the first episode we had a skit where it's like, "Hey, do you want a gift receipt?" When you go buy toys, they're like, "Do you want a gift receipt?" And then the shame of like, "No, it's for me." Like I had a cashier, like an actual cashier cashing us out and like, "Can you ask us this?" And then I'm like, "Yo, make sure you get that camera over there and this camera's got to
That's
be looking
great.
at Jason and I got to get that reaction." and it's dude, and it's also a mix of The Office too, because you know how many times it's like we're talking and it's like
Yeah.
and the deadpan looks straight
So
into the
good.
camera.
It's so good.
So like, and I'm sure like that at some point when you're watching it, you're like, this feels familiar.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And that may be why you like it so much, because it seems familiar of shows that we both love.
Mm.
So that's, you know, that's the influences um and maybe also the challenges of it too. But you know, nothing was other than that skit, nothing was rehearsed. Nothing was. I had a list of questions, but it was all freestyle. I think I thrive live. That's corny.
No, it's
When
not
it's
corny.
live, I feel more comfortable. When it's a pre-record, I make so many mistakes.
Oh, okay. Dude, I'm the same
unreal.
way. Dude, there's
It's weird.
hours of footage of me messing up one sentence.
Yeah. And, what the hell video was I doing? I got all the way to the end and I messed up the last word, and then the video ends with me going, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like at myself. It's I don't know what it is. It's just I talked about it with Jay from Geek Dad Life. He's like, it's that's how it is. You have that safety net in the back of your head. You have that
That's
safety net
true.
that you can do it again. That's why I know everyone watches me live and they're like, "Wow, Kevin's perfect," and he doesn't ever misspeak. It's not like that, people. I hate to ruin that illusion for you. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but it's not like rehearsed conversations, and I'm super lucky that the people who went on were able to kind of like answer those questions, go with the flow,
Mm-hmm.
and it just came out a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
It's a great show, and you can really see that fun and like the vibe and the energy that you guys are experiencing in person really does resonate through the show itself. Not only because you can see it on camera, but your editing style is very nice, and you say that you maybe try and emulate some stuff that you've seen before, but it definitely does have its own voice for sure. And I think that's what's so appealing about the show is because like it's very like you and your like vibe and like everybody else. Like the Enablers episode was fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was crazy fun. I wish I had enough mics and enough space to invite everybody. Dude, I was going down the list. I'm like, I want everyone to be there. You know, that's how I see this place. That's how I see the toy space. It's like I want everyone to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I wish it could have been like, dude, I want like all you guys out there. I wanted Richie and Plastic Action, all those guys in there, but like it's just not physically
Not plausible.
possible, especially when I only have 2 mics and 1 10-pack of tortillas. It's not gonna happen. I don't have a budget for more tortillas.
That's true.
I don't have that. And I think, like, how do you feel if you do the ACBA podcast and you want to do clips for people, like reels, and you know, a lot of podcasts do that, right? They have their
Mhm.
full thing and then they do like a reel for social media, Instagram, something like that.
Mm.
Like to have somebody come in, say you don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be comfortable having someone come in and do the edits for you and put that out there?
It's always so crazy because like I don't know. Like in my mind, I'd love for that to happen.
Yeah,
Like
me too.
it took a lot for me to even hand the reins over to Snowcat. Shout out to Snowcat. To do timestamps for the show because like
Yeah.
it's because since I am like the person that has all that control over all that stuff for the podcast, it's very much like my like voice for all
Mhm.
of that stuff. So like whenever we pick clips, like I'm the one that oh my god, hell wow, let's
Does
go.
someone do that?
Somebody did something. Somebody sent me $5. Thank you. Holy cow. Hold on. I've never gotten a donation before. That's crazy. Well, I've gotten donation before, but never on this show. Hell yeah, dude. Somebody said for the tortilla budget. Let's go.
Oh, no. Where was this? How do you send the thing?
It's like a link in the description. I try not to
Oh,
like
come on, everybody. Go to that link. Yeah, I'm like that. I tried. It's very uncomfortable for me to be like, hey, this is where you can send money.
Oh yeah, never ever. I don't even ask people to subscribe. So
Okay, come on.
Maybe that's why I've been sitting at 7K for 5 years. Who knows? Anyway, but I can't even remember what we were talking about.
The editing,
Oh yeah,
handing off.
oh yeah. So yeah, it's very much my voice, and like I'm always afraid that if somebody else does it, like do we have the same like I wouldn't say vision, but the same vibe. Like so if I were to hand that off to somebody else, would they pick the same stuff that I would pick? And like is that even like a problem that needs a solution? Like are my picks even that great? I don't know. So
That's exactly what it is. Like you're saying, like there's my influences in there, but it's my vision, my how I cut it.
Mhm.
So I would love to have for the channel to get to a point where like I can hire an editor and clip
Yeah.
things,
That'd
and
be
that in turn brings more people to watch, and it's this self-feeding kind of function that you want for the whole project.
Mhm.
But do they have the same style of humor as me?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Like, will it be the same? Like, remember the Mezco videos? There was the one where my friend was like, "Yo, I got in my Mezco," and then there's a cut of my face, and I crop in super close where I'm just staring at the camera. I mean, that's just me. Like, hold that look,
Yeah.
and then as I'm editing, I'm like, get in as close as I can. I
Dude,
don't care what the quality is at that point, but just hold that look. And it's just like, I find that funny.
that was
Is
like
someone else gonna get that?
that was the funniest part of that whole video. It was so funny, dude. But I totally understand what you're saying. Like, it's just like it's hard to let go of that sense of like I don't know, ownership maybe, or like that voice that you have with like when you're when what do you call it? When you're just in charge of like all that stuff. But then in my case it's so strange because like it's not even my shit. Like it's Bug's channel. So like that stuff doesn't matter at all. And it's crazy because Bug has gotten to that point now. And I'm the editor.
There you go.
So
There
like
you go.
I'm happy for him, but you know, his editor needs an editor for real.
Dude, it's like, look at all the stuff you have going on down below and everything.
That's
It's
yeah,
like
this is my kingdom right there.
we're always trying to add value
That's
and
true.
add something cool, right? And there's only so many hours. There's only so much processing power in our brains and our computers that for the stuff. So it makes sense to try and compartmentalize it and delegate. But sometimes some of that stuff you want, it's like if you're a movie director, it's like, hey, why don't you do all the editing and I'll just, that's your
Yeah,
role.
that's
So you
true.
kind of, that's kind of your thing. But I'm sure in movies they have like a bunch of guys cutting and they're like, no, I want it to look like this and I
It's
want it
true.
to.
It's
It's
a whole
like
industry.
yeah, or like something as simple as someone like Chamba or like other comic book artists.
Hmm.
They want to handle you want a website and do merch and sell your own stuff. But at the same time, you can't have that stuff if you're the creative, you're the source of it. You don't have time to do art because you have to manage it. So you hire
Yeah.
somebody to handle your business side and do all that stuff. And then that allows you to focus on your art. Like that's the best part. That's why some of these websites are genius. It's like you're an artist, you don't have time to do your own taxes. Download this. You don't have time to run this website. Go like it makes sense. It makes sense. It's so simple.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
shout out. It's Static Thunder sent it. He said
yeah.
it didn't show it.
I'll
Thank
replay it right here. Let's go. Said $5 for the tortilla budget.
Nice.
Incredible. And then Machu Toys just donated too.
There you go. There you go.
It's unbelievable. Thank you guys so much. He said, great watching these two legends chat it up. Poncho, love this show. Keep it up, dude. Oh, thank you so much. Oh,
Hell yeah, man. You're the you're the legend here.
oh
And
my
like
goodness.
guys, this kind of stuff, like I don't feel comfortable asking for stuff. But think about like you don't feel comfortable. Punchies, you don't feel comfortable asking for this stuff.
I
It's
don't
like,
feel comfortable any part of the day of my entire life.
oh my god. But it's like this helps, like, you know, getting that new software
That's
or
true.
upgrading this lighting. You guys get like super chats and upgrade people's mics and on the show and everything like that. Like it makes a difference, right? It's important.
Hell yeah,
Love
dude.
it.
It's true. Yeah, like we say it at any chance we get, but the whole reason that we even got a chance to go to SDCC was because of generous viewers just like you, baby.
Hell yeah.
And like that was something that I never even fathomed was possible, dude.
Hmm.
Like the generosity of this community specifically is something that like continues to like obliterate the bar that has been set previously. It's like insane. The fact that four people from both coasts of this country were able to like fly out, drive out, be boarded and fed for 5 days straight off the generosity of a community is like
Oh damn.
is unreal. It's absolutely unreal. And like every chance I get, I think I thank everybody involved. It's insane.
That's a great point. So you're not just going out there creating the content because of the media pass. It's the people who support you be like, oh, if we get these guys out there, like they're gonna show us more stuff. It's
True.
making more content
Absolutely.
for the viewer. So it's like it's a cycle.
Yeah,
It's
man.
a cycle.
That's why I was so adamant on our podcast being like I really wanted it to be on the show floor because I wanted to give the people that didn't have the chance to go out to STCC just like just like a raw experience of what it's like to be out on the show floor. And that's why like we
Hmm.
walked around and all that stuff. Because at first it was just gonna be like just a cool like lax podcast of all of us together, like at our Airbnb or whatever. And I think like the what do you call it? Like the appeal of the whole thing was finally having all of us in the same room together. Like
Yeah.
it's the same like joy people got whenever all the enablers got together as well. It's the exact same thing. And
Monumental that day.
absolutely. And that would have been enough. But but even I was like, nah, dude, it's got to be more. We got to do more. It's got like we have to do it. Like I just don't know what it's gonna do. So like oh my god, we bummed the press Wi-Fi. I had no idea that it would reach that far. But in hindsight, it makes sense because the press room was right above all the halls, and the press room like daisy chains throughout like a bunch of different rooms or whatever. So
Hmm.
like we bummed the press Wi-Fi the entire show floor, which is why it wasn't like terrible the entire time. I thought it was going to be impossible, but we somehow
Oh wow.
managed to do it. Like the only thing which is a huge red flag or a huge glaring issue was the audio was like not good at all. But it was like that the iPhone noise canceling was working harder than it's ever worked in its entire life. I have never heard an iPhone camera sound or iPhone microphone sound like that ever in my life.
That's crazy.
So I honestly thought it was going to be okay, but it was not good. So hopefully next year it will be. This is insane. So people are still donating. I thank you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's
Thank you
great,
so
man.
much.
It's like not through YouTube, right? It's through your own thing,
Yeah, it's just through my
your
own
your
thing.
streaming
Yeah,
service.
because your boy's not partnered up. That's why. Like I don't have the option for super chats at all.
No, just do it like this.
This
Do
is
it like this.
thank you guys. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I've never done super chats. I've never done like monetization or anything like that. Forever ago, I tried to set up AdSense and I accidentally made 2 accounts and I linked them both and they're all like, no, you can't do that, and then they shadow ban me from doing that ever again. So
Oh no.
so when all my shit was compromised, I was talking to like my Google person and I was all like, like we ran into like a hiccup. They're like, you have 2 AdSense accounts. Like, is this what they were trying to do? Like, are they trying to siphon money out of your AdSense accounts? And I was like, dude, if they want $0 twice, they can have it, dude. And they're like, why do you have 2? And I was like, oh, it's because, I was a kid. I was like, I was like 17 and like I set this up or whatever and blah, 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 blah. Fobster, who's Who's your Google guy?
I was, dude, when I heard that happened to you and Boog, my heart dropped.
Oh
It's
my goodness, thank you.
I
Oh,
couldn't
not
I
thank
couldn't
you. I
even
don't
know.
know.
You for
I appreciate
feeling pain.
your
Uh,
condolences. Yes.
it's a scary thing. And then, when that happens, go turn on. Yeah, well, you told me like you had two-factor authentication and everything. Like it bypassed all that stuff, and all your videos and everything. Man, it's crazy to. I'm sure part of you was like, I'm gonna have to start over again, aren't I?
Yeah.
Right? That had to have crossed your mind.
Oh, dude, for sure. Like I even talk Boog and I were talking in like the podcast like group chat. I was like, dude, I'm just starting over. Like I was at the point where I'm like, I'm never gonna get this thing back because it seems so hopeless at the very beginning because like I do plan on doing a video. You know, it's so stupid. We were talking about this earlier, like how you have ideas and you bank ideas in your head.
Yeah.
Like I was like, how do I do a video of this? Like, do I do a live stream? And I was thinking maybe a live stream would be funny. But then what if I'm like recounting the days and then I have the Jack Bauer 24 countdown clock every time I reach a new like bullet point
So good.
in the video, and I was like, well, then that has to be a video. So now it's a video. So like that's like the evolution of like how my brain works. And
No, makes sense. Makes absolute sense to me.
But
Makes absolute sense.
so like at the very beginning, I was like so hopeless because like what's gonna happen? Because like immediately within 1 minute they logged into my stuff. I got the notification on my phone saying like, hey, somebody's logging into your stuff. Was this you? And I went to say
Sure.
no. And it says, well, you should change your password. So I'm like, okay, cool. And like, I'm picking my password. And then by the time I hit reset, they had changed my two-factor authentication, my backup email, my backup phone number, and they added like a physical security key to it. Like
Damn.
that you have to like plug in every single time or whatever. And I was like, oh, this stinks. Like, all right, that's it. That's over. I'm done. Like, and like I'm looking around like my room and I'm like, I guess this is done too. Like it's like the equivalent of all of your house burning down. Like basically.
Yeah, I don't need this anymore.
It's like you're like and like I know that sounds like well, why were you even doing it in the first place? Was it all for the views? No, obviously not, duh. But like it's just like when something so terrible like that happens,
Yeah.
you just lose your motivation to do all that stuff.
But like the odds that 2 of the 4 people on the same podcast,
That's what I'm
like
saying. So I think it's like it's a couple of things. Again.
ask your Google person.
No. Like Book and I were talking like, how did this happen? I was like, did we open up any like? I was like, Book, you don't fuck with anything. Like, there's no way you downloaded like risky software or anything like that. He's like, no, I don't do that. And I go, of course not. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't do that. And
Yeah.
then I was like, well, is it like the main cause is like weird PDFs? I was like, did any of us open strange PDFs? And then like, there's no way of knowing because this happened right after SDCC. And if you have a press pass for SDCC, every single outlet is sending you press packets. Every single outlet. So like the only thing I can imagine is maybe one of those outlets sent, or maybe somebody was like sent out a fake email pretending to be like a press packet or something.
Right.
Or maybe somebody distributed it during like on the Wi-Fi at the convention center or something like that, because like there's nothing I can really think of that happened.
Were you both on the convention Wi-Fi?
Yeah, both of us, all of us were on the convention Wi-Fi, but it only affected Boog and I because I think and this is no detriment to like, to Fabio or anything, but like, because like our subscriber count was at a certain level, and like compared to Boog, my subscriber count is like, I don't know, an ant on the face of it as well. But, but like I had like a backup channel linked to my stuff that has like, maybe like a couple hundred or whatever. It's just like a weird backup channel, and like that wasn't affected or anything like that. So I think there's like a certain threshold, like 5,000 or above or something, I would imagine, that it affects, and like it's just all so they can make like weird like Bitcoin scam stuff or whatever. I don't know. But that whole thing sucked ass.
No, it was not. But like, dude, the live stream was like, oh, you can only chat if you've been a subscriber for 15 years. It's like, why is that even an
15
option?
years.
YouTube?
Yeah, why is that an option? I know.
Why?
You know who could have saved us? Fucking Ed. Ed could have saved us. The guy that we were hanging out with all con, because that man that's Boog's son, of course. Like he if there's anybody that could have done it, it's Ed. Or maybe FixSimp. Shit, FixSimp could have done it. Josh has been my subscriber since like forever. I have no idea. He could have like popped on. Where were you guys, huh? Where were the sons of Poncho and Boog? I don't know. It's all right.
Boog's son is a big dude.
Dude, Ed is the man. Ed is like, so it was so cool meeting up with him. Of course, meeting up with everybody was incredible.
I knew him through like ACBA from like years ago too. He helped me get like one of the Ninja Turtles NECA packs years ago.
Hell yeah. Man. Dude, Ed's the man. Ed is the man. Absolutely.
So cool. He doesn't do that much. He's not that much into this stuff now, is he?
Nah, he's working on he's focusing on real life shit, sculpting his body and educating his mind at college. So
exactly,
he does like competitive lifting, I think, and he's in college and stuff, which is way more than I'm doing.
Exactly, just lifting weights.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy. It's cool. It was cool seeing everybody at the con and everything, man. What would you say was like your favorite, or what was like a core memory that you made at the con?
When I made contact with Mario's face in slow motion with the tortilla.
The tortilla.
It was something about that night. The chat was just on fire. Their comments were so good. So like that's some of the best. Like this is, I don't know, our streams we like look a lot at the chat. It's almost like they're here but they're not here.
Mm-hmm. That's the way to do it. Like, honestly.
Yeah, but no, but like this with me and you, it's like it's me and you.
Mm-hmm.
It's different, but I like it, and I have to kind of get used to that too, and not to say like ignore the chat, but at the same time, it's we're going for different things. But like night,
it's an incredible studio audience, baby.
Yes, the chat was on fucking fire. It was so good. So that was my one of the core memories. That's pretty much it. That night was probably the coolest thing, and that's what kind of spawned the whole like enablers getting together year after year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Decon, Toronto, San Diego. It's just, Tormigos did their first live one with everyone in studio. They got an actual studio, and
that
was
like, incredible, dude.
Right?
It was so great seeing the community in their, like, everybody's own corner of the community like level up this year.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So when you see like those guys go out to Legion's Con or things like that, and they're like, yeah, man, we get to meet up with our friends. This is great. It's like, I know that feeling.
That's it.
I did that. It's fucking awesome. I'm so happy for you. I don't know you, but I'm happy for you because that feeling it's, as Chamba says, the tits.
Hell yeah, dude. It's great.
It's in my mind from the other night. Yeah, Chamba's the best. Like, come on, bro.
Around.
Somebody you've known for so long who's just so awesome. And it's like, he's in Australia. I would never meet this man in any other circumstance. When would that ever? I'm not going there.
No.
Well, maybe, but it's like, it's not like I'm gonna be in the exact same place as him, right? That might not be the case. So yeah, that's the coolest thing, man. Bringing all these people together. That's why it's like, yeah, I missed some celebrities or I missed some products or some giveaways, but it's like, I don't want to spend 2 hours in line with people trying to get some like something that I might not even really need, or just chill with all these people, right? Like this is the reason we came out here to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was like the whole vibe for us too. Was like hanging out and just being together was 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 priority one. And like work was like almost second. Like that's why like we just didn't even do anything.
Yeah, I mean, if I can do New York Comic Con, I'm out of vacation days because I have an Asia trip later this year. But if I can find a time to get like a press pass, go for the weekend. Again, the channel members and super chats, that stuff all goes towards. I'll be there to make more content, not just like
Oh yeah.
out there sunbathing or something like that. It's also November or whatever, so that doesn't work.
Yeah, it's great to know that that these these incredibly generous donations that we get in the community and stuff goes to something so worth it. Like of course, like there's always like the great point of putting that money back into the show, everybody
Mhm.
getting like better microphones and equipment and stuff like that. That's great. That's like incredible, and like that's like the way to do it. But again, like I said earlier, like the fact that it was able to all this stuff is able to fund people meeting up and hanging out. That's like it's like the best thing in the world.
Can I go grab a drink? I have a fridge in the other room. I just want to
Yeah,
grab a
you
drink.
go right ahead.
Give me a second.
Yeah, that's no problem. That's no problem. Just leave me all here alone, Kevin. It's fine. It's not like you were my guest or anything, or I'm up here at 12:30 a.m. Sacrificing my sleep schedule, but it's fine. It's great. Of course, these are all jokes. Typical sleep. Oh man, it's just sleep. You're right. Then you can always have more. That's it.
All right.
Hell yeah, I missed you, man.
Miss you too. I miss you more.
No, you hang up first. Hell yeah, dude. What time is it over there? Are we in the same time zone or no?
Yeah, we're in the same time zone.
That's right. Canada is a mystical land to me. I don't know what's happening over there.
Time measurements are the same.
That's true. What time is your thing tomorrow?
It starts at 10. I'm going to drop the kids off with my parents at like 8:30.
Oh my
Then I'm
goodness.
gonna go. Well, no, I'm gonna grab all the coffees first.
They're
Tim
free.
Hortons. Not for me. But again, it's adding value to the event.
That's true.
what it's all about. So, grab Tim Hortons. The enablers in the chat will know Tim
Hell
Hortons.
yeah, dude. Dude, my wife is obsessed with Tim Hortons.
Oh, perfect. So I'm gonna grab like boxes of coffee there. Kids love donuts. They don't care where it's from. It's just sugar.
Yeah, they go
Drop
nuts.
them off with my parent. They do. Nice. Slip that in there, and then I got to go line up some pylons and get everything set up for tomorrow in the morning. But it's just crazy. I got to make sure my gimbal's charged. I think we're good there. My camera, which is basically the iPhone, and I'm good to go. I don't even know if I'm gonna have a chance to sell stuff. I feel like I'm not ready to delegate and like dip on the first event. Like I gotta be there, make sure everything runs
That's true.
smoothly. Yeah.
I wouldn't even. I mean, like, I wouldn't even really worry too much about selling stuff. Just like enjoy your time there, and running the event and stuff like that. I don't know. Who am I? This is shit advice. Don't listen to me.
Dude, I want to get like one of the local bubble tea shops here. They have like their own truck that they can do events, and I'm like, I had visions of like having that there, or like an ice cream truck, and just it's a nice summer day. But if we make it big and it keeps happening, that's not. It's not going to be ruled out. Like it's an evolving thing. It keeps getting better. It's like, I don't know. It's like Jada Toy making action figures. They're new to it, but don't hold them to what it is now and saying these are all the shortcomings. It's like, no, they're working to get better, and it's gonna keep getting better. Look at it like a few months from now
That's
compared
true.
to where it's like we're not just content with how things are now,
That's true.
right?
Yeah. Any potential shortcoming is just a lesson for next year, huh? That's it.
The Chinese have the same word for crisis and opportunity.
No shit.
Crisis-tunity. No, that's a Simpsons bit. I don't even know. I don't even know if there's a real word. I'm sure when I was younger, I asked my parents, and they're like, "The fuck are you talking about?" It's Homer. He's like, "Yes, crisis-tunity."
Oh man. Yeah, I don't want to keep you up too late. I know it's like 12:30 here. Or it's 12:30 for both of us. Don, such an idiot.
That old Canadian time.
I know, it's
I could
crazy.
never get the hang of it. Hey, but if you're signing off before we go,
Mm-hmm.
Jollibee chicken on
I'm-
the podcast the other day, you're
Okay.
like, you brought how much home? or was it last time that you left from New York that you brought $70 home?
Yeah, so Becca and I went to New York for our honeymoon. And then we brought back about $70 or $80 worth of Jollibee.
Nice.
And it was worth it. It's absolutely worth it. So her parents used to live in Florida, and whenever we went to Florida, we brought back home probably the same amount worth of Whataburger as well. So like every time I go somewhere like that's like far away and I have the opportunity to bring back
fast food
or regional cuisines, I do the same. I always try to. I have this crazy idea. I don't know why anybody hasn't done this before.
Sell it on the plane?
Why is a version of that? Why isn't there a DoorDash version, but for like far away food?
International,
dude, like
interstate Uber.
Yeah, well, so like it's like you have to schedule it, right? So here's my Shark Tank pitch. So
Okay.
So the way it works is it's all scheduled based. Big picture, you partner with airlines and you give people the option if they want to partake in this program. So if I am flying from South Carolina to San Diego, say somebody in San Diego wants something from Early Bird Diner, which is an incredible diner here in Charleston, South Carolina. And we make the transaction, everything's fine. Before my flight leaves, I get something from Early Bird Diner. I bring it on the plane with me as a carry-on. It's food, it's free. It's always free. And then I deliver it to them, like either at the airport or I hand it off to a DoorDasher or an Uber Eatser, and that's like another charge. But like, why isn't that a thing? Like, I don't understand.
I like my food hot, so
I mean,
for those reasons, I'm out.
Well, you know what? Climate controlled, containers exist. I just,
Dude, like think about the service fees.
That's true. So, but like, here's the thing. I will pay that for Jollibee. Like, I just remember whenever I really, really wanted Jollibee, I was like, dude, I am willing to pay $50 like for this. Like, I mean, I understand. So everybody in the chat is obviously, poking holes in this whole thing. Like, I get it, right? Like Christopher Miller, the FDA would like to have a word with you. Absolutely.
So, there was an episode of Entourage when Turtle had bagels shipped from New York to California.
That's the only place they make real bagels.
Is that possible? Like, I have a bunch of Jollibees here. Can I just FedEx it?
So what's stopping you from FedExing it? I mean, like,
international,
the 3-day shipping time, I guess. Yeah, also international. Yeah, that would be crazy. I'm saying, like, it's so easy for you to just bring food on a plane.
Yeah,
why not? Exploit is not the best word I should probably choose, but like, why not?
That's what America's all about, man.
Yeah, I mean, like,
exploit.
I do that all the time. Exactly, you're absolutely right. It is what America's all about.
Hell yeah. When I used to go visit family in New Jersey, I'd always grab like that Crave case from White Castle.
Oh hell yeah! That's another thing I did. Whenever I used to go to AWA, right? There's one last white. There's one. So it's not White Castle. It's Crystals, but it's the same thing basically. It's there's one last Crystals before you come out of Georgia, and I would just buy, I don't know, 75 Crystal burgers, or something like that.
I can't think of any food that I would pay that much money for to import it.
It's because you're in such a land of opportunity. You
Yeah,
have a Tim Hortons there. You
I'm way
have a
too
Jollibee
privileged.
there.
Tim Hortons was at the top of your list. My goodness.
There, I'm saying, like, there's the closest Tim Hortons to us is in New York.
Yeah,
So
you have a bunch there. Yeah, dude, it's just so multicultural here. You can get foods from most types of foods that are pretty authentic.
yeah,
Uh, but I don't have to import it. Except for like Mexican food. It's like all the stuff downtown, it's all like this fusion new age stuff, and it's like, yo, I don't know if I told you. I said it on the live stream in San Diego. I get into an Uber, and the Spanish dude driving, Vincente.
mhm.
He's like, "Hey, do you live around here?" I'm like, "No, we're just at an Airbnb." He's like, "Okay, yeah. Like, how far?" I'm like, "It's 10 minutes from here." He goes, "Oh, there's this great restaurant here, Imperial Castle, or something like that." I'm like, "Okay, cool." He's like, "They have really good Chinese food." I'm like, okay. I'm like, first of all, I didn't fly all the way out here for Chinese food. I can get that at home.
Sure. Didn't you go?
To that restaurant?
No, but you did get Chinese food, right? In it or no?
No, I don't think we had Japanese one night, but
Okay.
I wanted to get this. There's this one like dumpling place. It's like Shanghainese food.
Mm.
That we don't have in Canada. So they have it out there. They have it in Asia. We wanted to go there, but it's like a 28-minute drive.
Oh, that's
And
nothing.
yeah, in Uber dollars.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You're right. You're right.
It
You're
is.
right.
Yeah. So yeah, but that guy, I'm like, I came out here for like local food, Mexican food, and we had a whole bunch of stuff all the time. Everywhere was like it was pico de gallo and everything.
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, they had the best pico de gallo in the press room that first day. Oh my god. I
In
can't,
the press room?
dude, I could not. It was like catered from like a local Mexican place, and it was really good.
What the
It was so
man?
good. But that
I
was
gotta get
the
on that.
peak. That was the peak though.
Nonstop coffee and
I'm saying.
man.
There's Arnold Palmer's in there. You had to make it yourself, but small price to pay. So
He was just like, sorry, go ahead.
you said you brought up Jollibee. You said you were talking about Jollibee the other day, or that was your question. You were asking me how much Jollibee
Yeah.
I brought. Okay, good.
Yeah. Was it as good? Because when you don't have something for that long, you kind of romanticize it in your head to be like the
That's true.
perfect thing. So did it still live up to that when you got there?
I think yes. I will say that the Jollibee was still good no matter what. Like, was still good for a while. We froze a lot of it too. We freeze like our crystals. When I came back this time, I brought In-N-Out back home. And I will say In-N-Out has been the only thing that maybe kind of suffered, but that was only because of the animal sauce in it that kind of like it just soaked into the rest of the burger. I should have just not gotten them animal style and just relied on the packs. Uh, but it was still good. But we ate all four burgers within within 8 hours.
Oh wow. I'd have that one in the freezer. I can't bring myself to eat it because once it's gone, it's gone. That's
gone.
it.
Yeah,
Who
that's
knows when
true.
I'm going back?
That is true.
That's what I would worry about, man. Press room Mexican. Who would have guessed?
It was good. It was very good.
Can we? You guys mentioned the other day on the podcast, and I didn't even remember. Like you were so far into the story that I couldn't remember about a freaking waiter.
Oh yeah,
And
for you, right?
apparently, yeah, and apparently I said, like, what do you get paid per plate? And I've been watching all these videos about places to go in Japan, and it's like they have the conveyor belt sushi, and
That's
then you can eat, and then you kind of like deposit your plate into this, almost like a if you were putting coins in the vending machine, you
yeah.
just put your empty plates in there, and that's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, I didn't do that. What the hell are these guys talking about? And then I was like, oh right, the breakfast. And I told my wife, and I've been laughing at it ever since because I'm like, "That's such an asshole comment." I messaged Rick right after. I'm like,
No,
"Did I say that?"
no, that's not
He's
an
like,
asshole
"Yeah, you
comment at
did,
all.
and that guy was hounding you."
No, and
Can you please tell people the way you clearly, I don't remember it happening, as vividly as you guys did.
I
But
mean,
please, I'm gonna ask you again next Thursday too, but please, let's recount what happened.
I'm saying like it was to me, it was just like it was not in an asshole way. It was what you strive to achieve. It was a very office moment. It's just you like looking into a fictitious camera going like, "Does this guy get paid per plate? What the fuck?"
It's like, you
Yeah, like what's going on here? Like what the fuck? There
it's
was
like
I would
breakfast
I wouldn't be worried about
bar.
being an asshole at all.
No, that's what Oh, yeah, Yoko was there. It's like breakfast buffet, and trying to conserve resources. I don't need to have a little bite and then grab a new plate. Any
Yeah,
buffet, I'll
man.
take my plate back and reuse it. I
That's
don't care
true.
about that stuff. So I was just trying to eat my food, and this man kept trying to like, "Can I clear your plate for you?" Like, "No, I'm good. I'm still eating that. Can I clear your plate for you?" "No, I'm gonna use it again." It's like, "No, it's real. Like, really, I can take it for you. You can just grab a new plate." And yeah, Rick, it's like 3 times. I don't know. I don't remember if it was the same person who came back or like a different person. And I'm like, "What do you get paid per plate?" I'm like, "I'm good. I'm good."
This shit is so funny.
That is pretty. It sounds pretty asshole-ish to me.
No, it was fine. It was so because like, yo, they were up our ass about getting these plates. I went back to get orange juice and my shit was gone. It was
Dude.
Thanos off the fucking table.
Were we in some like super bougie like building where they're like, that's the service?
We
It's
must
like,
have
"Oh
been.
no, monsieur, you cannot use the same plate again."
It's gotta
What was
be.
happening?
Yeah, man, they were really crazy. Can you imagine the same place with that much attention to detail about the plates couldn't cook a fucking sausage to save their life? Them shits were dried out. Did you have any of the sausages?
Dude, the eggs were green. One of the trays of eggs was gray. It was the gray Hulk tray of eggs. Our book saw it, and then they're like, "Yeah, this batch is no good." But someone
What?
had already taken scoops out of it, so they took it back and brought out a new one. But it was gray. I don't know how you gray eggs. Do you salt them early? I don't know if you salt. But dude, you were getting really creative with the bread.
Oh,
The
me?
yeah, a little
I'm a connoisseur,
arugula.
baby. You don't get a physique like this just putting butter on toast, my friend. You gotta get a little freaky with it.
This guy knows what he's doing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, did they think we were gonna steal the plates?
Dude, I'm saying, like, they may have, there are people out there. My in-laws do that all the time.
Oh no.
Yo, they steal so much stuff.
Oh no.
They steal all the they steal the silverware, some of the plates. They get like mad ramekins from places.
Mad ramekins?
Yeah, they just steal ramekins. It's so funny. And then Rebecca and I, we were at this place called Jim and Nick's. It's a barbecue place. And they had a ramekin, and we asked for a to-go thing a million times, and they never gave it to us. So I'm like, we're stealing this bitch, dude. This ramekin's coming home with us. And then we got into the car and we sent like a picture of it to like our family group chat. Like, look at us. Aren't you proud? Like to her parents and stuff. It's so great.
Yeah, the avocado toast. You had me. I'm like, I guess we're in California. It's time for some avocado
do it.
toast for breakfast.
Got to do it, man.
That was fun, man. That was crazy to see like all the YouTube people
Yeah,
like there.
dude.
That's so cool.
It was a who's who, baby. You made it international.
It's an all-star
who's
game.
who's.
The SDCC is basically an all-star game.
Oh yeah,
It's
there's no
all-star
question.
weekend of
Dude.
nerds.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what was crazy? It was, and this is no detriment to anybody involved, but like it was so crazy seeing just how many people were at that Hasbro breakfast.
Yeah, right?
It's so good. Like, I just didn't expect to see so many people there. And again, that's not because like, oh, what are you doing here? It's just like, oh fuck, you're here too. Holy cow, this is great.
Yeah, man, it's just the joy of it's like, yeah, more people. I've never been to that event.
Yeah, me neither. Never in
I've
my
never
life.
been to anything like that. So just to see more people, it's just seeing people that you know. That's the cool part. I can't wait for my selfie series.
Yeah, just
I
like
want to
Rick
see how
said.
that thing.
Dude, MVP of the Hasbro breakfast. Would have never known. Never.
Yeah, you guys were standing around.
Yeah, we were
you
in
were holding your monopod like some sort of pimp cane, trying to stay out of the sun, trying to stay cool, like the coolest dudes in the corner.
dude. That was a
And I'm like,
decrepit corner.
what are you guys doing? Like, there's a scan. They're like, what? And it was in the email, in the email from like PR, I think. So
Yeah,
I'm like, where is this thing? It was
Should have
cool.
read that email. Should have read that email.
Maybe you didn't read it, and that's why I got the virus.
Oh, could be.
That would have saved you.
That it could have. You never know. You never know. Yeah, man. Like peek behind the curtain. Like we were a late addition to all of that shit. So like we were just on like eggshells, just hoping that we would get the opportunity to go, much less read about the perks. So once we got that confirmation email, I was like, "Whoa, okay, cool. All right, tight. See you there."
Yeah. It all goes back to like what we were saying earlier. Like I don't want to ask for stuff. I don't feel comfortable asking for stuff.
I never want to ask. But you know what's crazy is like there's like two separate camps, because like Boog and I, the complete opposite of that. Boog is like, he's very like straightforward and very like not like a mean way or anything, but like in a business sense type way.
Mm.
Like he's like, yeah, if you want an opportunity with anything, just come and ask, right? Like if you want to be on the podcast, just hit us up in a DM. If you want us to promote something, just tell us. There's no way I know other than if you tell us. And like for him, it's not like a look at this guy trying to like steal clout or like trying to like use me for something. It's just like, how would I know if you don't ask? But me and you are like, I will never ask anything in my entire life. Please invite me to something, otherwise I'll never come. Which is exactly like, dude, it was so funny because when you were like, hey, you should come to this thing with us. I think Mario invited me to the Enablers hangout, or no, what was it? Maybe it was a Toy Migos thing. I can't remember. It was when we were at that weird bar. Well, that was you guys, right? On
that was after the Tomigo podcast Thursday.
I want to say Thursday. It was in the weird bar with the diner in it.
Yeah. You were there, Fabster.
Yeah. Was
it just you two? Because I got there later.
Yeah, it was just us. Because Rick and Bug were asleep.
Oh wow.
But like I remember I was just like, I wouldn't say dancing around it or whatever, but I was like kind of like putting feelers out, like, hey, if you want to hang out, it'd be cool to hang out. Nothing specific, nothing in concrete or anything, but it'd be cool to hang out, And then like finally like Mario was like, you should come to this thing. And I go to Fabio and I was like, officially invited, baby. That's us. Let's go.
We made it. This Hasbro, now this.
That's true. Yeah, Chama just said that was the Toy Migos after party. Yeah, I was like, officially invited to the Toy Migos after party. And then somebody
I don't have any parties, so I'm like, I don't know. I'm not in charge of inviting people. I don't know if I can or if I should. I'm just hanging out, and it'd be cool if we get the call, and if not, we were the same we were as yesterday. Like, I'm good.
Yeah,
but I do appreciate it, and it's fun to see all you guys.
Yeah, it was great, and it was fun, and like I'm just like you, man. I never want to invite myself or impose or like push myself onto other stuff, which is why like I'm so happy when like I get invited to like these shows and like everybody's own show and stuff like that. It's great. Like when you reached out to me the other month and you're all like, hey, I have an open slot, please come on. And I was like, oh, let's go. I'm like, cool, let's go. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, man. But Boog has a good point. He certainly does.
And that's what's so crazy about like this space and like this industry is like you have to operate both ways almost. Like you got to play like a nice middle ground. You don't want to seem like too like full of yourself or whatever, but on
Yeah.
the other end of on the other end of the spectrum, you have to be like hungry enough to like, or ambitious enough to go for it, which is something I did want to bring up. I think I've said it before. I think I said it during like maybe our end of the year show 1 year on the Ace Bay podcast, but like
Okay.
you are the one of the most ambitious and like driven people in the space that I have ever encountered. It's insane.
What do you mean?
Because like I said this before as well, but like from the jump, the branding was on point. You had the hat made, you had the shirts, you had like everything. Just like the level of like just self-worth that you had for yourself was like insane. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, I remember like for some reason the hat stuck out to you.
Yeah, because it's like who fucking embroiders their own hat off the cuff, off the rip, dude? This is sick.
Dude, I had intentions to like make like a whole run of them, but
Dude,
man,
let's go.
it's fucking expensive.
I'm
It's
sure.
expensive.
I'm sure.
Setting up an embroidery whatever thing they need to do, it's costly. Like that first it's like making that first action figure, you know, it's $10,000 and every single one afterwards is pennies for the plastic. But not pennies. Well, you guys get the
Yeah, that's true. We got pennies
Yeah.
over here too.
We actually don't. We actually got them out of circulation.
Oh hell yeah! You know we got to do that, man. Too many Abe Lincolns running around over on this side of the border.
Yeah, I'm always in the US. I'm always like coming back with a bag of change because everywhere is like so precise, and you got to have pennies. And like this is too much.
Dang, you're still using
This is
cash, physical currency, baby. I don't know. That's not me.
we get. I have relatives from the US, and you know, like Chinese people give the red pockets a lot
Oh yeah, true, true,
for
true.
like New Year's and things like that, special events. So we do have some physical currency, worthless paper money.
Yeah, that's true.
means nothing. I hate going to a place and they're like, we don't accept cash. It's like this fucking legal tender. It says
Yeah,
it on
come
here.
on.
Like
Cash
take
is
it.
king,
Take my fucking. I had one place that's like, we'll take it. Oh, the place at the airport. Mario knows it's the diner at the airport that he met me at. She's like, we'll take cash, but we don't give change. It's like, what kind of scam is this?
This is fucked up. What are you talking about?
What kind of scam is this? That is the like. I don't even. I'm like, I completely turned off. I'm like, oh, okay, there goes your tip.
That's crazy.
Yeah, at an airport. At an airport
of all
that,
places,
like,
of all sacred places, an airport.
unbelievable.
Dude, I got fucking got at the airport on the way back. I thought I lost my charge cable for my iPhone, and my phone was like on 4%, and I desperately needed to call my wife to tell her like, "Hey, I'm here," or like in case anything happened. And like I bought one of those $20 chargers. And then I was unpacking my bag and I had it all along.
Sure enough, it was there.
It was there, dude. Absolutely there. That's
Who is the person at the airport using the vending machine to buy like a Nintendo Switch?
Yeah, I don't know.
But there's no games in there?
Yeah, I will tell you. Oh my god, I will tell you. It's parents with a lot of money,
Mhm.
and not a lot of time.
Okay. And like they're
and
going home to see their kids
Yeah.
for Christmas?
Dude, because when I was a kid, my dad bought me a Game Boy from a duty-free shop in the airport.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and then he got me a Game Boy and he got me Addams Family and Jungle Book. First of all, what kind of fucked up spread is that for for like a Game Boy? Like, I don't know, like Addams Family and like I just like looking back at it now, like I just knew. Like it makes perfect sense. Of course he got it at some weird like shop at like an airport. And like he told me, like, yeah, I got this for you at the airport, blah blah blah. Makes perfect sense. Just just dads that are like, oh, I didn't have time to run to the Toys R Us. Here's a here's a Game Boy and a couple of games. You like games, right? You like the Addams Family.
You like games.
Yeah.
You like families.
Yeah, right? I guess.
Oh man.
That's nuts, dude.
Lego vending machine at the Orlando airport.
What? Bro, there's a Lego vending machine at the Orlando airport. Like, who the fuck is buying whole ass Lego sets at the airport?
Dude, my luggage space is like everything is committed to being where it is at that point.
Yeah, that for real.
Where's the Lego set gonna go?
What was your luggage game like? On the way
Oh,
there and
dude.
on the way back.
We had all these plans. I was going to buy a suitcase there, and then
Smart. Fill it with shit.
yeah, and then buy stuff, and then fill that. But then I started bringing stuff for people, and I'm like, oh, that'll make some space. And if I buy bigger stuff, I'll just throw out all my underwear, and that'll make some more space. And then, but it's like it had something that I forget what changed. We were looking at the pricing. Oh, it's because the airline said we didn't get a carry-on,
Ooh,
so we
yeah.
had to get well, I'm like, well, if I have to pay for a checked bag, I'll just pay for it. So I had a smaller suitcase nestled into a slightly larger suitcase from the same line. And then when we got there, then it's like Evil Ryu is a big box,
Mhm.
and other SHF things, and we got all the stuff. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna have to activate the second suitcase. So that came out, and then
Activate the second
yeah,
suitcase.
yeah, we had to unlock
MI6?
that.
What the fuck?
And then we had to pay for two on the way back.
Dang, man. What's that?
Yeah.
Was that like $250 for the second one or some shit?
No, it's like because it counts as my wife's first luggage,
okay.
so we pay the first luggage fees for both, like $30. It's cheaper than shipping it home. It
Yeah,
would have been more than $30 to ship it home.
Yeah, man.
It's you get 50 pounds of toys in a suitcase.
Yeah.
Right? That's a lot. 50 pounds is a lot.
Dude,
to put in there. So
I looked out. We had the same mindset, baby. I came in with like a big ass duffel bag, practically empty. Well, it was full of like crackers and stuff for the show floor. But we did
just crackers.
we did not eat at all.
You Kramer going to work? What's this?
Yeah,
what's
of
the briefcase?
course.
Crackers.
There you go. There you go. Absolutely. It's the Kramerica way. Had to be stocked up. But yeah, it was a pretty much empty duffel bag just full of clothes and weird shit. Oh, the biggest thing in it was my shoebox full of Dusties.
Yes. Yes. Dude, they're so good.
Oh, thank you.
Who's watching that hasn't ordered yet?
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Quick segue. Like I was like at threat level midnight for the last 4 days because my like second printer just straight shitted itself. And like I thought I was on the verge of having to buy a whole new printer because like I had a filament jam in my hot end extruder that was unlike I had ever seen in my life. Like I tried changing the nozzle, and when I changed the nozzle, I guess I didn't screw it in all the way. So filament was getting stuck between the gap of the nozzle and the Bowden tube and the hot end. And like I was like, this stinks. So I finally took it all apart today. And like I did like a thorough cleaning, and then like I finally got it to work, and it's like the most like the endorphins I got off of that was crazy. Anyway,
the craziest part is when you get that blockage and it just envelops the whole heating block.
Yeah,
like some alien symbiote,
dude.
But it's so satisfying when you pick it off in one piece because you heat it. It's like I don't know, picking scabs off or something.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing as like the YouTube thing. You're just like, yo, F this whole thing. I'm just gonna start over. I'm just gonna buy a new printer.
Yeah,
I was on Amazon the other day when you hopped on the live with me.
It's so funny because again, like the juxtaposition between Boog and I is like I messaged him in the group chat and I was like, dude, I'm fixing to start over. What about you? He goes, no, fuck that, dude. I want my old channel back. I'm not starting a new shit over. He's like, we're getting our old channels back. Fuck this, dude. What are you even saying? And I was like, all right, okay.
That's awesome.
It was great, dude.
That's awesome. He's got like, you both have so much content and so many followers. Like it's just daunting to think of.
It was rough
building it back to that. years of grinding, man.
Yeah, it sucked. It really sucked. But the best thing that could come out of this re is being able to reassure everybody else that it is possible to get it back, and
Mhm.
and the the avenues that you have to take and the steps you have to take are not that difficult.
Mhm.
The biggest thing is just getting on a line with a real person. And all you have to do is just go on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And then just tweet or X at, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know. But like you just have to talk, just message or
Mhm.
mention YouTube support. That's it. And just say, hey, my account was hacked, it was hijacked. Can you please help me? And then they DM me in like an hour. And then I got my channel back 8 hours later. It was so fast. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it.
That's actually good to hear.
Yeah,
Just a know for the future.
absolutely. But yeah, like our going back, like our suitcase game was exactly the same. So like I had a lot of room after I gave away all my dusties and everything like that. So I put all the exclusives.
By dusties, you mean the old underwear, right?
That's true.
I call them my dusties too.
The first thing to go. But I put all the exclusives in there. I like padded them with like I brought a blanket because like I'm a baby, and I brought a blanket. I brought this is the stupidest thing ever, and I have no shame in admitting it. I brought the pillowcase to my wife's pillow so I could like smell her.
Like an actual waifu body pillow.
That's true. Yeah, you could say it became a waifu pillow. But yeah, I was like a big nerd. I love my wife and I miss my wife, so I wanted to smell her. Whatever. You want to fight about it? Fuck you. I don't care.
The chat wants to fight you.
That's true. Let's go. Let's put them up. But yeah, so I brought that. Suffice it to say, I had a lot of soft goods in my suitcase that I was able to use to like line all the stuff. And then I fell into like a really great situation. I picked up another set of Tamashi exclusives for my friend that I met on the internet through Vine, I think, but he's also an AMV maker. And like we have this huge mutual respect for each other. And I picked up a set for him, and I picked up the NECA Turtles for him too. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, I might have to get one of my friends to ship this for you the next day because I don't really have time right now. And he was like, okay, well, you don't have to worry about shipping because like my company will pay for the shipping. So just tell me everything, and then I'll just have a label made, and they'll just pay for it. And I was like, oh fuck, that's awesome. And shout out to Fabio, because my brain is not wired this way. Fabio's like, you should ask him for one for you too. And I'm like, oh shit, I should.
Yeah,
So
the company's gonna pay for it.
So I was like, hey, is it too much trouble if you printed one out for me too? And thank God he did, because all the shit that didn't make it into my suitcase ended up being like 20 pounds.
That is clutch. That is so clutch.
So huge shout out to Doug, and an extremely huge shout out to Fabio, because he spearheaded that whole thing and packed all that stuff up for both of us and shipped it out. So my carry-on was littered with exclusives. And I did the same thing the first time I ever went to San Diego Comic-Con.
Mhm.
I bought another suitcase while I was out. I went to like an outlet mall or something.
Ooh, that's where I should have gone.
And I bought like a huge suitcase for like, I think like 30 or 40 bucks or whatever. And I just packed that with Piccolos and Pacific Rim figures. It's like all I bought that year. And I bought like this big ass Mega Man statue. Oh my God. It was the best.
What was your favorite pickup from San Diego?
Ooh, that's tough. I don't know. Most impressive? I would have to say the Mezco Green Ranger.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude. Did you get one?
No.
Oh no, dude. That thing kind of slaps. Like I was.
It looks pretty good,
It-
but there is a line I shan't cross.
Oh really? Why? What's going on here?
Oh, Mezco has been way too
Oh,
good to
that's
me that
right.
I
That's
feel
right.
like I shouldn't take more from them because they've been spoiling me
That's true. That's
by
true.
giving me content to make.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Uh, yeah, man. Maybe I should feel the same with the same amount of shade I've thrown that company on the podcast over the years. But again, like I always reiterate it with, I get it. Like I get it, but like,
Mhm.
please send us an email. Please something.
No, I mean, I'm not like I can I will acknowledge that there are some great toys. There are a lot of great toys. That Green Ranger does look good. It's just the company itself. That's
Can't
all.
do it. Yeah, I respect that. I respect I respect that 100%. That was probably my favorite pickup, just because I really enjoy the idea of Sentai figures having soft good fabric, like a
Mhm.
bodysuit. Like that's like super cool to me. Um, I wish I would have gotten those turtles from Best Action. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to mess with one of them. I got to mess with a Donnie, and I was
Yeah, I
like,
mean, the one they had on the cashier area
well,
or, like, the
no.
table?
Which ones? A guy in the ACBA community had one, and
Okay.
we got to mess with his. Um, and I made a mental note. Oh, I should get these, and I never went back.
I mean, I'm okay with not having them. They're cool, but that's
Yeah,
another $120 that I wasn't expecting to spend,
yeah, same.
right? Because again, rule of 4,
That's true.
that's 120 US for me.
Yeah, man. I wasn't.
Well, for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and like the fact that they were split up over 2 days, that kind of made it
Yeah.
better and
I
worse.
I didn't have Friday, Saturday passes, so I'm like, I can't commit to this. It wasn't guaranteed that I would be back in those places. Some
Well,
people hooked me up to get back in.
yeah, you could have reappeared as Vicky Gonzalez, or whoever was getting passed around or whatever.
Passed around. Perfect, perfect way to put it.
No, that's true. Yeah, a little sus.
Oh no.
Before we go,
Yeah.
I do want to ask you a question.
Uh-oh. I don't like that sly smile on
No,
your face.
it's nothing crazy. It's something.
This gotcha journalism that
No,
we were
no,
talking.
no. It's something that we talked about, that Mario and I talked about, that had like
Okay.
a really great reception that I didn't think anybody would give a shit about. What's your stance on ghosts, baby? Do you believe in them? Have you had
Someone did
encounters?
toy photography from your story?
What?
Didn't someone recreated the thing where you thought there was something on the floor in
Oh
your
my
room?
god, yes, you're right.
Yeah, I saw that. I
Yeah,
saw that.
that's right. Somebody did recreate that. Holy cow. Shouts out to that. Stop avoiding the question, Kevin. Do you believe or not?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
I
Very
don't
nice.
when I was maybe when I was younger, I used to be scared of like the basement like Kevin did in Home Alone because I
Yeah.
thought the furnace was
Hell yeah.
talking.
Did
That's kind of a ghost.
did you know that there's a whole cut sequence about that in Home Alone?
Is there?
Yeah, there's a whole plot line about Kevin being afraid of the furnace and him going down there, and like a whole character arc of him like standing up to the furnace that was like cut from the whole film.
Oh no. I
Yeah,
wanna
it's
see
great.
that.
It's great. You should like, if you're a fan of Home Alone, like look it up, and like there's a lot.
Dude,
There's like,
same name. We were like so close in age at that time.
oh
And
dude, yeah.
it's from an era where like I could be left at home on purpose for that. Like nowadays it wouldn't happen, right?
No. You just look on the
But
Nest Cam and everything will
yeah,
be okay.
exactly. I had like my Nerf guns pointed from the upstairs to the front door. I'm like, what would that do? I had my nunchucks ready.
That's, well, you could have done some serious
Yeah.
damage with those. Let's
Could
not
have seriously
fucking
broke
twist
somebody's ankles with that.
it.
But no, I don't think I believe in ghosts. Um,
Interesting.
but again, I've never been in a situation like you had. So maybe if something like that happens, it would change my mind.
That's true. Hey, consider yourself lucky. That shit is scary as hell. What about aliens, Kevin? Now we know, according to the U.S. government, extraterrestrials, or at least parts of them, have been found on U.S. soil.
they've never lied to you before, so why would
That's
they
true.
start now?
That's true. Yeah. The track record of the U.S. government is A plus.
No, there has to be aliens.
Hell
All
yeah,
the
my
huge
man.
galaxy
That's what I'm
out there.
saying.
Why would we be the only fucking race or species out there or living
Same.
creatures on this planet? And we're talking about goddamn toys on the internet.
It's true.
This is what we're
That's
doing
true.
with our existence.
Yeah.
No, there's somebody else out there. If comics and anything has taught us, it's that they're coming to feed off of
Oh,
our
whoa. Yeah.
planet,
Well, they're out
planet
there.
or people.
Hell yeah, man.
That's got to be it.
You know what's crazy? Like, I heard the theory that aliens and other civilizations like exist, but not at the same time as us. Like millions of years ago, like another civilization was out there or something, and like maybe it's a situation where we don't coexist, but like maybe in another million years or 100 million years, another alien civilization will pop up in like another galaxy over there, and there's no like crossing of this stuff, but maybe that's the case. I don't believe that because A, crop circles, and B, it's a character, it's a bit.
Okay, Dale.
I know, right? I got to keep the dream alive somehow.
R.I.P. You know?
That's it. Yeah, rest in peace to a king, for real.
You just pull up a jar of alien
yeah,
urine.
well, how'd I get this urine?
I told you that my kids, you know, you do goofy stuff when you have kids just to make them laugh, and they emulate a lot of the stuff to a point where my daughter, for a while when she was younger, her go-to sound effect was "sha."
Yes, let's go.
Because it was all from me. That is all from me. So that lives on.
That's incredible, dude. Hell yeah, man. Can't wait to have kids. It's gonna be a lot of, but some good.
It's a lot of hard work. I don't know. I was having a really rough day the other day. Like, kids don't listen, and like they're just messy and they're jerks. And someone was like, "Hey, if you're not having a tough time parenting, like, you're not being a good parent. Like, you don't care. Like, if you're having a tough time, it's because you care. If you didn't care, you just be like, yeah, whatever, go do that. Like, I'm gonna go drink a beer and do whatever. Just ignore you. Like, it would, like, if it wouldn't stress me, I ignore it. Like, I wouldn't be caring. So, I had to see that, and just sometimes you need that reminder, refreshment in your head to keep yourself in check.
That's true.
Yeah.
But one more thing before we go. I have to talk about one of the greatest interactions I've ever seen with you and your daughter is when you were doing that Pokemon card
Okay, no, the Pokemon. What, I thought you were gonna talk about the Modoc. What happened with the Pokemon?
No, what happened with the Modoc when you couldn't put them together or what?
Oh, she put it together in like 7 seconds on screen.
No, it was a very like off the beaten path, like random stream you did one day when you're opening Pokemon cards with your daughter.
Oh no.
And then you pulled a card. I can't remember. The pun was almost like a pooping pun or whatever.
It was probably a Bidoof.
Bidoof, that's right. And then you're all like, that's what you sound like in the bathroom.
She lost it.
She lost her mind. And like, it's so, okay, it's not necessarily the interaction between you and your daughter. It was the interaction between you and your wife. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
Why? What did she say?
It was like it was written for a sitcom. Cause like your daughter is like sad or like upset, and she like runs out of the room.
She ran off crying.
Yeah, and then you're all like, do I keep opening these cards or what? Like,
did I say that?
Yeah, something like that. And I just remember you were like on screen for like what must have been the longest, like 40 seconds. And then you're all like, I should probably go say sorry.
I'm like, I gotta go.
And then you get up, and as you're getting up, I hear the door open, and your wife goes in this exact same tone. I say it to Rebecca all the time. You have to apologize right now. And you're like, I know.
Dude, that's the toughest part. Knowing knowing like when to apologize even to kids,
Oh
because
yeah,
I don't think my parents ever apologized for
dude.
taking it too far,
I'm saying that's that.
right?
You got to break that generational cycle. It starts with you.
It's yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because, when people are just like, oh, I wasn't ready to be a parent. No one's just like, I'm ready to be a parent. It's like, you're still you, but now you have this other little being here.
Oh, for
So
sure.
you just have to learn to adapt to it. And, sometimes, again, a lot of things contribute to your temper. I'm not making excuses, but as a human being, all these things affect you, and sometimes, uh, you know, I might overreact for some stuff, but I'll make a point to be like, "Yo, I'm sorry. I raised my voice. I'm sorry. I yelled." Like it's important because I don't again breaking the intergenerational cycle, man.
Hmm.
You're right. It's got to happen. So yeah, you're a dad now. You're a dad now. I'm a good boy. So yeah, that was I did not expect that reaction. But she's like, "You got to go up." I'm like, "Yep, you're right.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
You got to be able to, to know when you're wrong. It helps a lot in everyday, not just being a parent, not just be
That
everything.
absolutely, for
To be
sure.
able to say like, "Yeah, I fucked up." Sometimes you don't have to say it out loud, but knowing that you did.
Yeah, it's a thought that counts, honestly.
Come on, the Bidoof. It's a good
It's a
sound.
good. That was a solid joke. One day she might appreciate it. Who knows?
Not when it was on the internet and like
Yeah.
it's like, hey, even Pancheezy remembers when she's a teenager. She's like, oh my god, no.
You know what's crazy? It's just like how like that such something so small can like live in your mind for so long, but like you don't know the other end of it. Like to me, like that's like a very like yeah, it's funny, but it's also like a very wholesome moment where like you apologize to your daughter and you guys made up and stuff. But like, to your daughter, that's just me making fun of like making fun of
Yeah,
her because people be shitting. I guess
yeah. You know
I be
how I be.
pooping. That's it. Exactly. You know how I be.
Dude, they make jokes about me being on the toilet all the time now. You don't see me running off crying.
You should, honestly. You should flip the table.
I should be like, apologize to me.
Yeah, that's it. You should table the turns or whatever. Goddamn.
Yeah, the
I don't
turntables.
how the turntables.
I mean, like, dude, I got, from Asia, from this generation, it's like
Mhm.
I got beat as a kid,
Oh yeah, no question, dude. It's
right?
insane. It's crazy, and
It's
it's
great. If you think about it, it's like, good God, I can do that to my kid. Like, it's wild, dude. My wife told me one time when she was younger, I don't know if it was her, I don't know. It's just like a parent, I think her mom was like at the park and the kids were playing in the park. And for Chinese people, there's like literally a stick. It's like a bamboo stick or whatever.
Mhm.
And like it's like a switch. You use it to
Hell yeah.
beat. And then like the kids are playing in the park and mom was just like walking around under trees looking for a good stick. Like a good stick.
Good stick.
Fuck, that cracks me up. Like it's kind of horrifying, but like man, that's a real it's just like the prison guard, walking around with the baton in his hand like this, but like you guys better, behave, stay in your cells and eat your vegetables.
It's
Yeah, a switch. She was walking around looking for a switch.
you know what's you know what's crazy? I feel like our generation or generations very close to ours are in
Mhm,
such an interesting like gap between those parroting styles.
mhm,
Like just a couple of years older than us, you have people that remember that and talk about it like in a very stern way, and like it's just like all business, no nonsense with them. But then you have people that are a little younger than us that never had anything like that, and they're
mhm.
all like, how could that ever happen? That's crazy. But then you have us that experienced it but almost romanticize it in a way like
It's like
just
it's
what
like us
you
with
did.
technology,
Oh yeah, for
right?
sure.
It's like, we're the internet we come up like we can go help our parents with the VCRs and like setting up all this stuff and all their TVs and computers, and it's like, but also be conscious of what's coming out. Where
Oh yeah,
a few years later, it's like, what's a phone? What's film? What's a
it's true.
DVD?
It's crazy.
So it is that age gap, man. It's kind of crazy.
It's wild. I think our generation is like a very interesting middle ground for a lot of different stuff. Like just like so much stuff is like changed within like our like uh what do you call it? Our formative adolescent years that was like not the case when we were kids, and now it's like totally different, but we were in the right mindset to adapt to all that stuff. So we're in like this strange middle ground. We don't really like there's nobody else to really like connect with instead of just our own generation. It's crazy. It's wild.
You know what my favorite thing about parenting is in the context of like previous generations and now?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I get so frustrated and I think, you know what? I would never say I'm gonna go buy cigarettes and leave my family. but I get why those people did that. I'm not saying it's right,
No,
but I get
absolutely
it.
not.
But I fucking get it.
Yeah, man. I
It's
could
like
go out for a
sometimes
gallon of milk right now.
you just want to like pull your hair out, and it's like, I get it. And you know what? It's easier to restart your life back. I'll
Yeah.
never leave my family.
Much
I'll
like
never
a
leave my
YouTube
family.
channel.
We're a 3D printer.
Yeah, just like that, right?
I would never do it, but I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. It sounds like a bit. I don't know. This sounds like a stand-up bit, but it's not. Like I've sat there, and I like when you watch freaking Mad Men,
Mm-hmm.
and he just like up and left and then like had a whole new family. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it, but I get it. I get this. So, yeah.
Incredible, man. Hell yeah,
Is that
dude.
is that the perfect way to wrap it back up into
Yeah, sure.
into the 3D printing
Yeah, for sure.
and
Absolutely.
flipping the channel over? Oh man.
Well, I don't want to keep you up on. You got to be up in like 7 hours, huh? Dang, man.
It's all good. Yeah, but no, it's cool. Like a few more minutes. If people have questions, I'm down to whatever it is. But
Yeah, let's do a free for all.
it's been. Oh wow, time went by quick, man. Dude, we've just been chatting. This is
I
great.
know. That's what I'm saying. Like with, I don't even realize that so much time has gone by. Whenever I do this show, it's crazy. It's nuts. I was
Hours.
I told Becca, I was like, I might be done in 3 hours tops. 40 minutes later.
Oh no.
Static Thunder is asking, do you prefer pancakes or waffles?
Oh, waffles, man. They're crispy. You get syrup pockets when you pour it on.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
There's this thing going around now that's croissant waffles.
Okay.
Waffles.
Okay.
And my wife is like, I want to go try them. I said, it's just a croissant and they smush it in a waffle maker. She's like, they don't use a special like batter. I'm like, it's all bread.
That's it.
There's no special croissant batter. Is just extra butter. But yeah, I get it. You smush it in a waffle maker and then you wrap toppings.
It's a new shape.
Yeah.
It's a new shape. It's fun. It's the whole business model Taco Bell has been chasing all these years.
It's all bread.
Yeah,
it's like carnival food. How can we just make it more sugary?
True. Well, do you go to carnivals or do you go to fairs or anything like that?
We have some fairs here. Yeah, it's a way to pass time and enjoy the nice weather, the few months of sun that we get out here.
It's the opposite here. It's
summer.
All sun all the time here in Charleston.
Damn.
It is a devilish heat right now. Like it's unbelievable.
My dad should have moved there. Damn.
No. It's like sin is hitting you right in the face every time you walk out. It's just like a thick blanket of heat. Just like it's a wall of it. You're walking through it. It's not even like you're outside in in the breeze or whatever. It's you're walking.
Is it like
through
Asia
something.
heat, where it's also humid?
I don't know. It's pretty close. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I was talking about it with Mario. I was really selling him on going back home to the Philippines. I was talking
Yeah,
about
I heard that
how
part.
terribly hot it was and
Yeah.
everything. It's not as hot as that, but it is a version of it. Maybe the
You
1.0.
you have to clip that part from that episode and then just flash the text underneath like vacation Philippines.
Vacation, book it with your travel agent now, because if you're Filipino, you still have a fucking travel agent for some reason. I have no idea. My poor mom
Yeah.
is always like, I gotta talk to my travel agent. No, you need to
Yeah.
go on Delta right now and just buy it yourself.
That was my dad looking at Asia flights,
I'm saying,
and I'm like, you're who?
yeah,
I'm like, I booked San Diego on Google Flights, and I got a heck of a deal.
yeah, man. Clear cache and refresh. That's all you got to do. Did you know that? I just learned that last when I booked my flight for San Diego. Like
Because what's the reason for it? Like they
because your cache
profile you?
tracks how many times you've looked at that
Oh,
flight,
right.
and then it ups the price.
Hmm.
So clear cache or buy something in incognito mode, and then it's cheaper.
You say cash or cache?
Cache.
Oh,
Cache, like just if you do incognito mode, it doesn't take your cache or your browsing history or your cookies or anything into consideration. So that's why that's a good thing too. But yeah, having travel agents is insane. What is my mom paying for the agent to call her mom like all the time? Dude, it's insane. It's such a stupid, not stupid, but like such a crazy Filipino trope. Like the guy would call me because of course my mom doesn't have her own phone. Like she's like I'm gonna give this person your phone number. Cool. Hey, hello, is this Madeline? No, it's her son. Okay, well, can I speak to your mom, please? Yeah, your mom obviously has him on speaker. Hello, mom. How are you doing? Stop. What are you doing, dog? Like, stop. It's my mom, not yours.
ma'am, sir.
It was crazy.
No, I get that. I get that too. Again, we're that middle generation.
Yeah, man, dude, it's so wild. Like, just like the weird stuff our parents still do. It's unbelievable. Unreal. I can't even imagine. My mom she does insane things. Like she's buying a plane ticket now to come here. And so I say she's buying a plane ticket. I am buying it.
Mhm.
But it's her plane ticket, so she's buying it. so that's how she describes it to people. So like I'm looking stuff up and like I'm asking her like, hey, when's your flyback date? She goes, I don't know, just as far as you can make it. I was like, no, dog, this is concrete information that we need. Like, please tell me. She's like, okay, make it a year. I was like, it can't be a year. What are you doing? So like she'll like have like this weird round trip stuff for like no, it's insane. My mom's crazy, but she's the best. So
That's great. That's so great.
She's the best in the biz, baby. Hell yeah, man. Well, all right. It's about to be 4 hours. I want to stall for 10 minutes. No, not really. I want to thank you, man. Thank you so much for coming on. This was incredible. This was great,
man.
dude.
No, thank you. This is a good chat. It's like sometimes we do unboxings and then we stay on and chat for a little bit afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
This is all that. Like,
Yeah,
it
it's just
doesn't
that.
have to be about toys. It's just shooting the shit. Super cool. Loved it, man.
Hell
Loved
yeah,
every second.
man. Oh, dude, thank you so much. Yeah, I love, just like you said, I love that thing that we all do after a show is just we just talk about whatever.
Mhm.
And that's what I wanted to do, because I feel like a lot of the times like people in the community don't really see that, like they see shades of that when we do like our shows and all of that stuff, but like a solid block of that I think is like much needed. And I think a lot of the times, like, you know, we're all friends and like you kind of get this feeling whenever you watch a podcast. I know I do with like, the Enablers podcast and Toy Migos and stuff, and like even other podcasts where like you spend so much time like listening to these people, like you just feel like you're friends with them. And like,
Absolutely.
obviously we're actually friends with each other and stuff. But like the fact that we always talk about toys, I wanted to do something like this where we could just talk about, just like real shit or whatever. Just something that maybe isn't appropriate for like an ACBA podcast.
Yeah.
Like tune into next week's ACBA podcast where we talk about our parents still using travel agents.
Yeah, growing up Asian in North America.
Yeah,
Like, what?
absolutely. Yeah, there's no there's no way. Could never do that.
Yeah, there's a time and a place, and I respect that. But and when we do it, we did the damn thing, man. 4 hours.
Yeah, man.
With only one enabler on.
Dude, I'm saying let's get everybody on and let's go for 12.
Oh my gosh.
Could you imagine?
I just roll up to the event tomorrow, like
just cracked out of your mind.
just like, just park whatever. I don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
The
do
money's
whatever.
over there. There's Paul. Yeah, go over there. Throw my.
Yeah, don't forget the
do all
coffee.
stuff. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm gonna be needing that.
Well, hell yeah, man. Again, I thank you for coming on. Thank you for everything that you do for the community. You're such like a wholesome beacon in this community. I'm saying, dude, I know you don't want to hear it, but like, dude, thank you for real. Like the content you put out and like the team you assemble and everything is great. The dairy products you endorse, it's all good. It's all great.
It's just a lot of fun. Thank you, man. Thank you for reaching out. Like, the same way, when I asked you.
Yeah, man.
Like, oh, you want me on? Like so early on? Like, hell yeah, let's go. That's so cool, man. Thank you. Like, like Book says, you don't know if you don't ask.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on. I'm gonna throw you backstage. I'm gonna play the outro, and then I'm gonna come back, and then we'll say our I love yous, and we'll virtually hug and all that stuff.
Cool.
All right, cool. All right, I'll see you in a second. Peace, buddy. All right, now that Kevin's gone, psych. I'm just joking. Yo, thank you guys so much for hanging out. And for 4 hours straight, that's unbelievable. I can't believe it. Thank you guys so much also for the donations. That's insane. After Machu Toys hit us up, Kevin is amazing. Donated $5, paying for Ponch's new software $5 at a time. Thank you so much. Chamba, the man, the myth, dude. Holy cow. Donated $5 again. Or donated $5 saying more spam for Spam Cheesy. Let's go, dude. Thank you so much, dude. Again, I cannot thank you guys enough for not only the donations. That's incredible. But also just taking time out of your schedule and hanging out with Kevin and I and just enjoying just such a great conversation with such an incredible person in this community. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next episode of Super Articulated, whenever that may be. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to try and have this show on a bi-weekly schedule, possibly. So, that's it. I love you guys, and I'll catch you later. Peace.
Anjise proudly presents Super Articulated. With tonight's special guest, the Butter Baron himself, toying around. Sit back, relax, and enjoy tonight's show.